Okay, hello, hi. We are going live here on from Spain, Madrid, and we are watching the Christmas lottery, and it is this is an annual event, sort of the way Christmas starts in this country traditionally, although that's changed over the years. And I am here to see it. This is an interesting system. I'm going to see if I can get this up on a side thing because I am trying to. We're just about to start. It's a long process, and I'll be telling you about it as we go because it's not just a draw that takes maybe 5 minutes. It actually goes on for hours, and we are. I'm going to see if I can get this up in a better direction. I can watch it straight ahead as I go. Actually, let me have to put this down here. Put some lights on because if not, I'm going to have contra. Now I'm going to have to change this in a different position. Natural light here. Good morning. I'm not sure if anyone's going to come join us today, but anyway, we'll stop it. I'm doing a live stream on YouTube. If you want to go to YouTube and watch me live, you can. You'll be my number one person, right? I have no one watching me. Okay? But as we go. And so that's that. So we're watching this. Let me just tell you what this is all about. We are trying to see if I can get this here coming up here on this side. Christmas lottery. And they're telling you the different prizes that you get. I'll tell you how the system works in a second because it really is it's a pretty amazing thing. And it's a tradition that most people don't think about when they hold on, okay. Can you go on? You just go to YouTube and look for my page here. Okay, now they're beginning. Is this my website?
When I first came to Spain in the late 1980s, it was a country which still required.
Oh, yeah. I have one person watching me. That person knows me, I think. With this, no, because I can't put that on live. I can watch, I can tell you what's happening. What I'm going to try to do is add this information as we go, and I'm going to tell you how this thing works when I get. There's no one else here, so it doesn't matter until I get.
Lo comparto con American Friends.
They can hear you. So when we're going live, you can't be in the room because otherwise. This is basically a test run anyway to see if I can do this.
Lo comparto con ellos.
And we'll give me a few minutes to get comfortable here, babe. Okay. I just want to get this started, and they're just beginning, and 100,000 ticket. Each ticket number is printed a number of times, so they're called series. And usually, if you buy a series, it's 10 tickets per series. They're children. This is an interesting thing. They're children who are the ones who sing out the number, who call out the numbers. There is one prize, which is a $4 million prize. Now, the thing is, what makes this different? Let me learn how to do this. Okay, I think it's hard for me to do. Okay.
No, está viendo cómo se veía.
How's it? It looks okay. Yes.
Estaba muy blanco.
Well, that's okay, babe. A lot of podcasts are like that. Okay, we don't want to give.
Te puse un arbolito de Navidad.
Okay, a little Christmas behind me. Is it? But can you see it all right with the light?
Oh, no. Se da el pantallazo ahí.
No, it looks okay. No, you got rid of it.
¿Qué?
Decino.
Sí, porque no sé qué pasó.
And they're just starting right now.
Ahí mejor.
What?
Ahí mejor, la luz.
Okay.
Pero sube un poquito la batería.
Huh?
Aquí, ahí se ve.
Okay. And I'm gonna have this. Turn this off because if I have too much in the background, here are the kids who are calling out the prizes. Now, this is how this works. This is a system that's been going on, I think, since for over 200 years. And the Christmas one actually started, I think, in 1812, which was Spain was in the middle of its war of independence against the Napoleonic troops. So this is a very, very old tradition. And it's always on December 22nd. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is. And so what we try to do here is just traditionally, this is almost how Christmas kicked off in Spain. And it was nowadays things have changed a little bit. So we have this, we have more events and Christmas lights and things going on since almost late November. But when I first got here many, many years ago, it was sort of the way Christmas would really start in this country. And so this is a tradition that goes back a very long time. It's still very popular. And up until this morning, or last night at least, you saw lines going out the doors of the different lottery offices where people buy their tickets. And that's where you can have them. You can buy these tickets anywhere, really. And I'll explain why that is. But the main outlets are these offices where you buy lottery tickets in general. These are state-owned lottery offices, and there are some that are very famous. Many in Madrid. Probably the most famous is the one it's in Madrid, and you can get that. Let me see what the name. I can't remember. I never buy my ticket there, but. The pupils of the San Ildefonso School, which used to be orphans. They used to be orphans who draw the numbers. But now, since 84, it's just from this school, boys and girls of different ages. And they're the ones who actually call out the number. There's sort of a tradition behind why that is. Young children, it was sort of a way of assuming that these were innocent hands and not just anyone who is... might be involved in some sort of corruption, I guess. But anyway, the prizes are, let me tell you more about the prizes. right now. This, as I said, this will be going on for a long time. They're already calling out numbers, thousands, hundreds of numbers. It will end up being thousands of numbers, and we just want you to. I'll be giving you information as it comes, especially with the main prizes. Let me tell you, if I can actually get this. This is actually my first day I'm doing this, so you're going to have to bear with me. And here are the prizes. The prizes are for 2024. There are how many prizes overall? Winning numbers, at least. The total number of winning numbers is going to be higher than ever. They say 10,000. Oh, wait, there's already been a prize. They just started in the. What prize is it? They've just called it. Oh, a fifth prize. Okay. So it's pretty early. A fifth prize, just so you know, is. Let me see. A fifth prize, there are 8 fifth prizes. Each one is worth 60,000, which you get 60,000 if you actually have 10 tickets of the same number. And that number is 37,876. So that's one of the fifth prizes. 37,876. And if you have 10 tickets of the same number, which is called a series, then you would get 60,000. Most people don't have that. What they'll have is maybe 1/10, one of those tickets, which is called a tenth, or a decimo, and that would be 6,000 for you, which is still not bad for a couple of days before Christmas. And most of it was one. It's because they know where the numbers are sold from Tenerife and the Canary Islands. They're saying, so that's one of the 8 fifth prizes. Okay, one of the 8. There's still 7 more. So that's an early one, but there's still plenty of prizes. Overall, there are Pedrea for 1,000. They're saying overall prizes. I'm trying to think how many winning numbers are. I mean, you get a 10,000, you get your money back. What they call if. Okay, you go back down there, and I'll tell you more about this. Anyway, this is a system that goes back a long time, and it's done. And one of the things that makes it special is the way this is. Hold on for a second here. You have 2 huge sort of big these balls, sort of like a bingo game, and one of them has the winning numbers, or at least some of the numbers, all 100,000 wooden balls, and another one is the different prizes that you can win. Our first prize is 4 million euros. Second prize is 1,250,000 euros. Third prize is 500,000 euros. Fourth prize. There are 2 fourth prizes that are each worth 200,000. And then I told you before the fifth prizes, which are 60,000 euros each. Then you have these smaller prizes, which are called the Pedrea, which Pedrea comes from rock. So I think it's just like these pebbles, so to speak, small prizes. Each one is worth 1,000 euros. And then I'm going to tell you why it's usually not as high as the winning number. I'll tell you about that in a second. And then there are a couple of prizes. For example, there are new numbers. If your number is just below or just above the winning number, the first prize, you could get 20,000 euros. And if it's just below or just above the second prize, you get 12,500. And just below or just above the third prize, you get 9,600 euros. And then for the, let's see what else they are. The 99 numbers with the same first three digits of the first prize, you could get 1,000 for that. 99 numbers with the first three digits of the second prize, you could get 1,000, and the same for the third prize. So there are more prizes. I think that's new this year. And then you have others for the first three, for the fourth and fifth prizes. So there are lots of ways that you can get some sort of money. How many overall? Well, let's take a look here. You have to do my math here. You have one for first prize, one for second prize, one for third prize, 2 for fourth prize, 8 fifth prizes, and then this pedrea, which is these smaller prizes that they just call out these numbers, and you get 1,000 euros if you actually have the entire series. And there's 1,794 winning numbers. And then there's 2 more prizes for 2, 4, 6, and then there's 90. There's just thousands of them. We are talking close to 2,000, more than 2,000 winning numbers. And that would get 1,000 if you had all 10. And then you have 10,000 numbers where you would get your money back, basically. For whatever you paid for, you get your money back. And that sometimes happens. So there's just a lot of prizes. And then that's just part of it. Let me explain this, because the system is more complex than you think. You have, for example, first prize, which is 4 million euros. This is only if you have all 10 tickets of the winning number of a series. And so there are 193 series. So multiply that by 10, okay? And you get 1,930, if my math is correct, winning numbers, winning tickets. Normally, you don't have the whole series, or may not have the whole series. What you do have is this one ticket, which is 1/10 of that series, and that's usually what people have. So if you you get the winning number, you wouldn't win 4 million. You would win 400,000, okay, which is still not too bad. Now, compared to some of these jackpots that you find in the Euro Millions, or the ones in the United States, Mega Millions and all that, where it's sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars or euros. This is a relatively small jackpot. But on the other hand, and I think this is what makes it special, is that this is a winning prize that is spread out more. So it's not just one person winning $250 million. We are talking about thousands of people winning tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and it's sort of spread out. You spread the wealth. And that's what makes it special. I mean, sometimes you will have a winning number, like a first prize, which is famously known as the fat one, El Gordo. And that might be, that number may have been sold in a particular town, right? And so a lot of people who bought that ticket will be from the same town. So people will go out and celebrate in the streets and it's like that, because it's not just one person. There might be dozens of people who have the winning number. And that's sort of a nice thing about that. I think people are comfortable with that. And so that's the sort of how it works. We have, as I said, we still just have, I think it was, they're just saying that the first time this was done for the Christmas one was in 1812. It cost 40 reales. Oh, they told us, I don't know who won, what the winning number was, or the winning jackpot was. But this has been going on for over 200 years. What do we have? I should get my, I'll be back in a second. I'll have someone get my ticket here. But I should have them on me so I can see if I won anything. What normally, as I said, people just buy a tenth. That's 20 euros. That's a 20-euro bet. Or you might have someone feel like I'm going to put 200 euros into getting one of those 193 series, and then they might keep it for themselves, or they may give some of these tickets to friends or loved ones and families. Okay, I know I did that. I bought three of the same number, and I got one ticket for each of my daughters. So if we win, everyone's going to win, and that's sort of the idea. And I always think that's sort of a Spanish way of doing things. They don't like to have just one person winning everything. They almost want everyone to win something. And this is, as I said, this is a bigger deal than people may be aware of, because they are here in Spain. It's something that you see Christmas lottery tickets being sold, usually starting August of that year. So, and you'll see them especially in bars and restaurants. Okay, so you'd be going around some town, and you'll see their numbers that they're selling, their tickets. We actually got one from the town that we go up to up in the mountains of Madrid. And you might find it also, it's typical in the place where you work. Companies, they'll have a lottery number. And if you want to participate, you just say, I'll take one ticket, one of these tenths, these decimos. I think I'll just call them the Spanish one because it's sort of hard to explain otherwise. Or 2 decimos or 3 decimos. And a lot of the employees will have that same number. And if they win, well, then it's good news for everyone. And that's what's happened where I work. And my wife, where she works, she has her number. My daughter has her job. She has her number. And so it's pretty typical. You just see it everywhere. You see it everywhere. And that's sort of how this system works. Right now, as I said, we've only had one of the major prizes. Remember, we said there are 5 major prizes: first prize, second prize, third prize, fourth prize, and 5th prize. And there's only been one 5th prize. There's actually 8 5th prizes. I'm going to have to write this down somewhere. I don't have anything to write this down. I'm going to have to put this on my I'm going to have to put this on my I don't know, on the document here, because I'll check it out, because I'm not okay. Here we go. What was that number? I'm going to have to use different devices here so I have everything under control. If I can get it under control. And let's go. Lottery numbers. I can just Google just Spain Christmas lottery, and let's see if they have live. Let's see if they have it. If not, I can always go to the newspaper. Let's see the numbers. Okay, accept and continue. One of these places we're going to be handing out the numbers. Okay, good. Yeah, I can go with this guy. So we have I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to have to start up a new document here. And I'm letting this go. Okay. For 212 years, strict rules, security measures have been taken to guarantee that this Christmas draw is done with full transparency. I think that's been pretty true. I don't think it's been a fairly consistent in that sense. I think there have been a couple of scandals, and that wouldn't be surprising. It's a long time. There's always something going on. First prize, and once again, these prizes. Another thing is that these prizes come up as we go, so there's no telling. It's not like first they'll do fifth prize, and then they'll do fourth and third and second, and then finally the jackpot. This can appear at any time, and so because there's these two, you have these two balls, and they let's see how the draw works. You have these two cages, huge balls that look like cages, and one has 100,000 small wooden balls. The other one has 1,807 balls. That's where the prizes are. Even though you have more winning prizes, that's the number of prizes that are actually given out. And so that's where we are. So they come out randomly, so you don't know when the number's coming out. You just don't know. And the winning first prize occasionally is as an early bird winner might come out. It's not really going to be the case usually within the first hour. But the first fifth prize we have is 37,876. That doesn't sound familiar, like any number that I have. So let's go fifth prize. We have one which is 37,876. That's the only prize that we have right now. And then the winning prize may come I think last year it came out very toward the end. But there's no telling. I remember a couple of years ago, the first prize coming out like within the first 15 minutes, which is really early. But since it's random, that's sort of what you get. And I'm going to have to figure out if I can get any of this stuff on the screen as I'm learning how to do this. And we'll see what happens. There are 8 prizes here. And the first one, as I said, 37,876. That is a fifth prize. I'm not going to tell you all the Pedrea, which is the pebble avalanche numbers. There's about 1,700 of them, and these kids are just screaming them out as they go. And you don't really keep up with it. You just wait till later, and you check your if you realize you haven't won any of the first prizes, you check later and see if there's if you were lucky to win one of those numbers. Let me see, make this smaller. I'm gonna select, and what happens here is is that you have this. There we go. Much better. That's what I was looking for. What happens is that you, as I said, people normally don't win a first, the whole number. In other words, first prize is 4 million. Most people don't win 4 million because most people don't buy an entire series, which is 10 of these tickets. It's a €200 bet. Um, but on the other hand, there might be people who buy the same number and they might buy 3 or 4 series. So instead of winning 4 million, imagine you win 4 series of the same number. You may win, that would be, well, 4 times 4 is 16 million. So it really, the money that you win doesn't depend wholly on the winning number and the prize that corresponds with that number. Really, the the amount you win is the amount that you've bet. So how much money you've put in will depend. Will also have an impact on the money that you win. If you win anything, 100,000 numbers. It's from 0 to 99,999. And that has also changed over the years. And up until, I don't know when they changed that. I could find that out. When I first got here, it used to be 67,000 numbers for the first. Yeah, let me see if I can find it somewhere. I know I've seen it somewhere a long time ago. I was looking this up, and so it was almost, I think, the same number of winning numbers, over 67,000, and that was actually very good odds. I remember getting something almost every year, every 2 or 3 years. Since they've raised it to 100,000, the winning, the things have changed. There is a 5.3 chance of winning a higher prize, meaning that more than 10% of all tickets win some prize, which is significantly higher winning rate than most other lotteries. And that's true. I mean, what makes this lottery popular is that there's often a chance of winning something, even getting your money back. I mean, there's a 1 in 10 chance of you getting your money back, which is not bad. And then there's a pretty good chance of you winning something, especially La Pedrea. Now, the Pedrea is, for example, it's 1,000 euros. That's if you have all 10 numbers. But if you have, if you've bet, you have one decimal, which is 20 euros. And if you get the Pedrea, or if the number is the same as the winning number, then you will get 1,000 euros. And you get 100 euros. So for an 80 euro bet, you get for a 20 euro bet, you get 80 euros extra with your prize. You get 100 overall. And at this time of year, that's sometimes a fun thing to get, a little boost for the Christmas season. Usually that's what most people will win, if they win anything at all. And we are still watching here. That's the tablet. They're still doing their first of 10. They call them these boards of numbers. The kids are just calling out the numbers. One calls out the number, and the other one immediately after that will say what the prize was, and they'll usually just say 1,000 euros, 1,000 euros. That's the Pedrea. And so far we have just one. So maybe now we have some time here, and it's going to be a long time. I'm going to try and figure out if I can find a way of adding to the screen here the winning numbers. Now that may be a little bit too much to ask for my first live stream, probably. And you'll just have to be patient, and I'll figure it out. If not, I'll just be telling you, or if not, I can always, I could share, I could do that. Let me see if I can do that. I've got an idea. And let me see if I can do this here. I'm going to do this. I know what I'm going to do. I definitely know what I'm going to do. And I am going to if I can figure this out, I could do this, and maybe be something that everyone can enjoy. I can also gonna have to send something to my first live stream. Anyhow. Yes. Now that we have this one, and I'm going to figure out one thing here. I'm still waiting for numbers to come out. So this goes on all morning. So don't think that I'm just being blatantly boring. It's just, it's just the some of the things here. Forwarding because it's just, most times what people do, because it's a Sunday, so people are around and not doing as much as what they normally do. But a lot of times people are at work, they're doing their thing, and in the background, or they might have it online. I think you can get it online, but before you'd listen to the radio. So people would be at their desk working away, and in the background, you'd have the voices to the background of these kids just screaming out their numbers, these winning numbers, and then they might focus in on. I'm not sure if I'm doing that right. Okay, I think she said all four there. So, and there we are. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to set this up so I can give some Christmassy look here. What am I going to do here? Turn this, and I want to change the direction here, and I want to make it look cool. Maybe I could do this horizontal. There we go. Now I'm finding something what I'm looking for here. And I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to insert maybe an image and make it Christmassy. So, okay, to the second tabla. And there's only been one prize. So we had an early one, but that was it. And it looks like nothing else for the moment. It's calling out lots of numbers. That I don't do anything about that until the very end. Let's see if I find something that might look good. A few people, just two people here. Welcome to our first live stream. This is actually my first live stream, and it's probably very noticeable. But we can get our numbers. We can see if Holly, nothing. Okay, nothing. Well, that's interesting. All right, that's it. Oh, we got to do better than that. Okay, I'm gonna have to find something somewhere else. See if I can. I'm gonna do a Holly picture frame. See if something comes up, and the kids are just trying to call out the numbers, and then I will start over again. I'll tell people again how this works. That looks pretty good. Maybe I can do this. Let's see. What I can do with this one. Let's see, go if it works, and then I'll have this come up on the screen. If All right. Put this okay. Just a menu. Change the system. There it is. And we're going to try to put this. And we're going to send it to the back. Okay. Did that work? I don't know. No, it didn't. So we're just going to back that. I'll figure that out later on. And first prize. So I'm just going to, we'll go with what we have for the moment. And we'll stop with that. And this is what I'm going to do. I'll see if I can share this as we go. And hi there. Someone left. Did you send someone?
No.
Someone did come and go, but they left. No, thanks. But babe, I'm sorry. That's all right. I'm just worried about, don't panic, babe. Babe, come here. We are 42 minutes into this, and not much is happening here. We have one prize. And do you have the different numbers? Okay, let's take a look here. And do you get mine from the from my next to the bed? Yeah, it's in. You'll see it. It's in a. Here, I have my numbers here, so I can test here, see how this works. We're still with one number. That's it. This is how this works. You have 10,000. I wonder if I can get this up. I know what I can do.
Oh, we have a lot.
Huh? Yeah, I'm saying.
This is from the last one.
Yeah, we do.
None of this?
That's the school. Okay, so we'll take a look.
Let me see.
Okay. Let's do Google Slides. We could do a Google Slides. What I'm going to try to do is come up with a system which I can show to you and share with you at the same time. And we can take a look at how the winning numbers are going. Oh, we do have a winning number. Hold on. Okay. Third prize. Third prize. We now have the third prize. Okay. 11,840. 11,840. That is the third prize. Right, 8,840. Okay, let me double check here. Okay, good.
11.840 es el tercer premio. Atención, también repartido vendido en Bilbao, Vizcaya, en Llodio, en Álava. La Pobla de Saguayeda, uy, madre mía, Granadería Bona, Santa Cruz, Tenerife, Madrid. Bueno, Granadería Bona, que es un clásico, en Cabra, en Sina, en ambas.
Let's see if I find something that looks good.
en Mollerusa, en Lleida, en Madrid, bueno, en Madrid hay muchísimas administraciones, en Móstoles.
Okay, see if they can insert this one. So we now have a
840, en San Luis, Santa Bárbara, en Ogrove, en Pontevedra, Vigo también en Pontevedra, Madrid,
La Puebla del Río, Sevilla, Sevilla Capital también.
and some in Madrid.
en Toledo, en Aro, en La Rioja,
En Valencia, en Alcira, en Gandía, en la Puebla de Redona, en Requena.
bueno, mira, bien, Benavente, Zamora,
It's in Benavente, Zamora, so we have our
Barcelona, madre mía. Bueno, muy repartido
No paramos, pararíamos. Quiere decir, en Yugoslavia, Madrid, Terón.
and that we're going
un
to
montón de localidades donde ha repartido, donde ha caído ese 11.840.
third prize. We have a third prize.
Cuando, bueno, más o menos 9:48, 49 de
Sí.
la mañana, una hora menos en Canarias.
Que ya tenemos el tercero, Sandra. Bueno,
Pues ahora,
840.
que va a ser otra media hora, ¿no? Porque era como las 9:16.
Okay, now we're going to introduce.
Cada media hora estaría bien la cosa. ¿Me alegría cada media hora?
Okay, so they're calling out the different numbers. I'm just going to hear in the background.
Ay, que se escapa de nuevo una bola. Bueno, pero
No?
Pasa nada hasta esa moqueta, ¿eh?
Okay, so that's that. We're still okay. Well, we just had third prize. Welcome. Sorry about this. I'm trying to get this up on the screen so you can have some of the winning numbers. Our winning numbers so far have been. Let's take a look here. I'm trying to get this up here on the screen, and we were going to get it if we can. Let's just win our numbers here. First prize. We don't have first prize yet. We have second prize. We don't have second prize yet. Third prize. We don't have third prize yet. And then there are several fourth prizes, but we don't have them yet. And we do have a third prize, and we have several fifth prizes. And I'll try to get them up as we go. First prize. So we have one fifth prize, and let me double check with that. See if this works. What I've seen was 37,876. That was the first one to come out. 37,876. That was one of the prizes. There are 8 overall. And then for third prize, we have, let me see.
Pues mira, yo comparto con mi familia, comparto con compañeros de trabajo, comparto con mis amigos de donde veraneo y comparto también el número del colegio de mi hijo.
Third prize, we have 11,840.
No, pero este año de reconocer multiplicamos la mitad que llevo más. Bueno, un año más, un año menos, pero tener ese décimo, más o menos uno para compartirlo y para vivir. ¿Alguno por el que sientas predilección? ¿Alguno que digas, mira,
And that's the third prize.
Te digo que sale el 4, sale el 3, te digo que sale el 3, sale el 7, es decir, no es muy de...
I'm going to see if I can get this up on the screen, and that might help people.
Segunda tabla, hemos tenido en esta tabla ese 11.840 a las 9:48, hace nada, escasos minutos
Hold
que
on, make
salió
sure this is nice
ese
and big so everyone can
premio
see
por
it.
esos 500.000 euros a la serie. Pues parece que la manera sería un poquito, pero bueno, pues enseguida lo van a solucionar.
Okay, there we go. We can. Okay, there we are. We do the prizes as they come. We have. Okay, we have another prize that just came in. A fourth prize. Okay, we're gonna have to update that one. A fourth prize that just came in. A fourth prize.
Desde el tercero. $77.768,
Número 77.768, premiado con 200.000 euros para la serie.
Okay, we're gonna wait and see what that comes in. Hold on for a second.
Pues fíjate, porque Ainhoa, Ciel, Isabela y Armin han cantado ya 2 premios, ¿eh? Ese tercer premio y ese primer cuarto premio.
Okay, 77768. 77768.
Muy repartido. Sí, Isabela tiene en Murcia, en Valencia, en Leña.
Okay, let me get this down here, I guess.
Mérida, en Santiago de Compostela, en La Coruña, en Palma de Mallorca, en las Islas Baleares.
Stop sharing for a second.
En Alcalá-Henares, en Madrid, en Alsasua, en
777.
en Tarragona, en Alcira, en Valencia, en Arroyo de la Encomienda, en Valladolid, en San Cibrao, en Lugo, San Fernando de Henares, Torre del Mar, en Málaga. Podríamos seguir.
And we're back up.
Valencia. Pues nos alegramos, ¿eh? Sí, todo muchísimo, ¿eh?
Okay, so we have fourth prize. There are actually
Segunda tabla, ese primer cuarto premio, 200.000 euros por serie.
Okay, there we are with 3 prizes. There's still plenty left. I will be back in a second.
¿Sabéis esta broma de la manera que se han valido las pudinas? Madre mía, es que súper repartido parar esto en Bilbao, en los barrios, en San Fernando, Santander, en Castellón de la Plana, no sé. ¿Qué llevamos eso? ¿Plata o no? Pues eso creo que no. En 8 no me termino ninguno. Seguimos con el repaso, la explicación del caso de los décimos adquiridos en el canal online oficial. Los premios mayores se abonan mediante transferencia bancaria a la cuenta corriente comunicada por el jugador en su cuenta de juego, una vez verifique el número de cuenta tras el sorteo. Los premios menores serán abonados directamente en la cuenta de juego siempre que esta no exceda de los límites establecidos, en cuyo caso también serán abonados mediante transferencia bancaria a la cuenta corriente que haya sido comunicada. Bueno, enseguida vemos cómo se extrae ese premio para ese número que acaba de contar.
Okay.
Número bajito, ¿no? Están todos del 0 al 99.999. Puede salir cualquiera hora. Todos son válidos. Todos tienen su premio si salen.
Una cosa, no sé, una cosa o dos. Y ya está, ¿no? Hay libros, esto ahora te lo de tener. Lo que sí puedes hacer es coger el jamón de abajo. Y te ves 35, ¿vale? Me han escrito anoche.
Y el
Okay. Back here, welcome back. And we are watching this sort of exciting. This is the famous Christmas lottery that's been going on for over 200 years. We have, I'm having breakfast here. This is a long morning. And we are having
obras de nuestra cultura, de nuestra cultura, de nuestro arte. Es decir, que siempre hay que prestarle atención y mirarlo con cariño, ¿no? Bueno, ¿sabes?
this is drawing that goes on for hours and hours. And what I'm trying to show explain how this works, because it's different from, I think, any lottery that I know of, which doesn't mean it's not different from other ones that use this format, but I certainly don't know of any. And it's not where you just have one winning number that wins a ton of money. There are nearly 2,000 winning numbers, and that you win less money, but it's spread out more evenly. And that's sort of what makes it interesting, sort of makes it fun. Because generally you have thousands of winners, especially when we count just the first to fifth prize winners. You have first prize winners are the there's one first prize winner, but it's nearly 2,000, possibly up to 2,000 different people who have a winning number, because it's broken up into that number is broken up into different tickets. And then you have one second prize winner, but the same thing happens there. The third prize winner, and then you have five, I think, fourth prize winners and 8 fifth prize winners, which are lower. I mean, it's not going to allow you to retire, but certainly brings some, they say in Spanish, alegría, happiness to your day. And obviously you're going to be able to, maybe help you out with certain things you need to pay for and things like that. It's always something, it helps. And it's fun because this, as I said, in the end, hundreds of thousands of people end up winning something. And that makes it cool. That makes it cool. So when we're watching this, as we're listening, you have it in the background. I just keep it to the low in the background. You can hear the kids calling out the numbers. And just so you know, this is a lottery ticket, okay? You can see here. All right. This is one of those lottery tickets. And here you have, which one? Oh, we got this from Valladolid. Okay. So here you have the number, the 5-digit number, because it's from 1 to 99,999. Then you have the series, okay, and you have the series number there, and that will one of 193 series, and this is the fraction. This is the what this is called a decimal. Okay, this is just 1/10 of one series. It's 20 euros. And that's sort of how that's done. Let me explain the system again. You have 100,000 numbers that are possible winning numbers. And then the winning numbers, it's not that you have one jackpot. You don't have one jackpot and one number, one jackpot, one winner, essentially. You have what you do is that one number that wins, let's say first prize. Let's see, I'll lower this a bit. What wins first prize is going to is a that number that wins first prize. It has 193 series of the same number. Let's just give a number. Let's just say what number is this one, 15991. Now there will be 1,930 of these tickets, these decimals of the same number. And why do I know that? Because there are 193 series. 193 series. So when you buy a series, if you want to buy an entire series, that would be 200. That would be 200 euros and 10 tickets, which is it happens. I have a group of friends. We buy the same number every year, and we buy that one series of that number. And when we do that, then we split up the tickets evenly. So if that number actually wins, then we are going to be able to divide it evenly, and that's how that works. Most people do not buy an entire series of 200. Usually, what you buy is a decimo, which means 1/10 of that series, and that's 220 euros. Okay, so that's the typical bet that you have. And then I'm just keeping, if I look away, it's because I'm trying to see if they see any numbers here. And what happens then, if you get a winning number, let's just stick to the first prize because I think that's the easiest to work with. If you get that winning number, the winning number is 4 million euros. Now, if you have a whole series, which is 10 of these decimos, that's 4 million for you or for the group of people who are participating, but that's 4 million. And if you have just a 1/10, one of these tickets, then you don't get 4 million. What you get is 1/10 of that, which is 400,000. And 400,000 is still a nice amount of money to get. And that is that's usually what people win if they get they get the winning number, the jackpot, El Gordo. And what happens then? That's just as the basic system. So a couple of things determine what you win and how you win. One is getting a winning number. And then it will depend on how much or how many of those tickets you have. If you have that 1/10, well, you'll win 1/10 of what they say is the winning amount. Okay. And it's the same amount, at least every year. It's been like that for many years. 4 million for first prize. I can't remember. And then I think second prize is like over a million. Let me see if I can find it. Second prize is, let me think. Second prize is 1,250,000. Third prize is 500,000. We've already announced that. And fourth prize is 200,000, and fifth prize is 60,000. And so we're not talking about major, prize winning jackpots. They're not major jackpots, but at the same time, the people make a lot more people win something. So instead of with the Euro Millions or the Mega Millions or things like that, Powerball, where one person might be the sole winner of, $300 million, which is possible. Here, you'll get thousands of people winning thousands of euros. And so it's sort of it's generally not a life changer unless you get maybe the first or second prize and have a lot of that number. But it can certainly help. But normally, as I said, the winning number, the Gordo, the first prize is, wait a second, let me see. Looks like, do we have someone? 28,000. I'm trying to see. Okay, this is on live TV all morning long, and they'll go back and forth. So I'm just trying to tune in every once in a while to see what's going on. Here we have the winners right now. 3 winning prizes. Remember, there's more than that because first, second, and third is one prize each. So that's 3. And then 5 fourth prizes. So that's 8. And 8 fifth prizes. So 16 of the major prizes. What I'll do, then I have a few minutes here. What I'm going to try to do is, um, what I'm going to try to do here is nothing because I have no speed. No one listening to me. So I can just go somewhere. Babe, you left. I am. That's what I'm getting for. I could do with another coffee.
You want a coffee?
Sure. All right. Oh, we have someone coming in. Hi. Okay, so this is what we have right now. I'm trying to do a live stream of the 2024 Christmas lottery, which, for those of you who are not familiar with this lottery, this is a Christmas tradition that goes back over 200 years, and since 1812, which is sort of unusual because Spain was in the middle of a war of independence at the time. They were trying to get rid of the French, and yet they were still able to fit in a lottery. I'm watching it here. I think I've got 3. I'm going to double check here because it sort of comes in quickly. Let's see if there are any more prizes here in the background. Let's see if an update that I missed, but I don't think so. I think we're still just 3 of the 16 prizes. So a lot of the prizes, including first and second prize, have not been announced. And so we'll just have to keep waiting. This will go on for, we've been on for over an hour, and this could go on for another 2 more hours. And interesting to see how this works. You can watch this live on Spanish television and see how the people and the kids are calling out the numbers. This is the system. Let me tell you once again how this system works. This is where you have, it's done live, and it's not just one number that's announced and a prize that's given with it. You actually get nearly 2,000 prizes, 2,000 winning numbers. And the system is an old system, a traditional system where we have these 2 huge balls that look like cages, almost like if you've ever seen a bingo game. And one of them has 99,999 numbers, which is from 0 to 999,000. And the other one is the prize, has all the wooden balls with the prize numbers, or the prizes. There are 18 major prizes, and then there are several, almost 2,000 smaller prizes called the pedrea, which means sort of like pebble prizes. And that's the basic system. So what happens is you have these kids come in, and these are kids who go to a famous school in Madrid. Traditionally, it was an orphanage. It's no longer that, but these kids still will call out these numbers. It's sort of tradition. They're dressed in their uniforms, and it's a big deal for them. And they call out the numbers. One calls out the winning number, and the other one calls out the prize. And it's a process that takes all morning long. It goes on all morning long. And there we are. So far, we only have 3 prizes. And I'm just going to sort of repeat the information over and over again because that is they're saying that you have until March 22nd to cash in your winning ticket if you have one. So you have 3 months, right? Is that right? 3 months. Yeah. That's usually what they give you, 90 days, 3 months to cash in your winning number. This lottery always takes place on December 22nd. It's not just because it's Sunday or this year they made it the 22nd. It's always December 22nd, at least unless there was an exception at some point. But that's the tradition. Sort of the way the Spanish do these things. In tradition, this was sort of the way Christmas started. Nowadays, things have changed. If you go into the center of Madrid weeks before Christmas, you see this huge Christmas atmosphere. Before, I'm talking maybe 30 years ago, it wasn't quite like that. It was a little more low key. And this was sort of the way Christmas started. You could sense that Christmas was really getting going with this day. And that's that. Now it's Sunday, so I'm able to do a live stream of this. If it were Saturday too, I could do it. Otherwise, I'd be working at this time of day, and I wouldn't be able to provide you with this information. What I could do though is, and what people do in Spain on a day like, imagine if it's a work day, they'll just have this the computer. Now you have your phones, you get the information immediately. But before, people would listen to the radio, right? You'd be working at your desk, and in the background you could hear the kids calling out the numbers. And there they are right now. And now they spin these cages every few minutes, just to sort of guarantee that it's not just I think it's part of the transparency to make it as fair as possible. So for every moment that every few minutes, they just spin these big balls, these cages, and we'll start up again. And the kids are there calling out the numbers. It's a big deal for them. They're on live TV, and they practice it. They rehearse it a lot. And they're supposed to call it out. They say in Spanish to sing out the numbers in a special way. I've never won a major prize. I've won the Pedrea a couple of times. I would say maybe 5 times, and that's about it. I do have that one of those if only moments, and that was that would be about 25 years ago. Or so, maybe not. And it was a Sunday too when they had the lottery. And the day before, I walked by the one of these offices where you can get the lottery number, the tickets, and I got to the door and I was about to go in, and I could see there was only really one ticket number left, because I said, "Here are these tickets. Okay, you can see them here. This is what they look like." And they usually have an image here of like a nativity scene. And this was one that you have a nativity scene from a painting this year by Francisco y Rodrigo de Osona. And it's in this painting is in the Prado Museum. So you can see that if you ever go there. And I saw a number. At that time I didn't know it was the number, but I saw a number, and and what happened was let me see, here they are. Okay, no. And I saw the number, and then I said, I don't have time. I don't think I didn't want to spend the money or something like that. And I forget it. And then I went home, and that was it. And the next day, that ended up being the jackpot, the first prize number, because all the newspapers, all the TV people went by The next day I was walking by, I had to go buy something at the department store, the Corte Inglés, and I noticed all these like TV vans and people getting out and setting up their cameras right outside the lottery office that I was outlet that I was had been to the day before, and I kept walking, and after about 2 blocks, I remembered seeing the number on TV like 45 minutes before, and then I put 2 and 2 together, and I said, "Oh my God, that was the same number," and it was. So a frustrating moment at the time, because it's one of those few moments where you actually did see the winning number, didn't buy it. And I know that would have been the number because there was nothing else left. The day before the day before the lottery, there aren't many numbers left. And at that time, I think that was the only one I saw, and it was the only one I could see, and it was crazy. It was crazy, and that's the way luck works, and that's as close as I've gotten. Another year, I actually was pretty close to the winning number. I got a ticket at a bar, because that's a lot of times where you buy these tickets. You go to a place, or you're traveling around somewhere in Spain, and you're having a coffee somewhere, and they have their Christmas number. Every bar and restaurant in Spain will be trying to sell some of these numbers, and I got one, and it was I think it was 6 numbers away. So if we're talking, the winning number was 1,500. No, let's take it 15,667. I had 15,661 or something. It was right off, and I think I got some money because it was so close. It's what they call proximity, and that's what happened there. So that's it. It's actually, we're an hour and 22 minutes basically into the draw, and we've only had 3 of 16 major prizes. I've got my selection of tickets that I have. Some are from an association of friends that we've get the same number every year. I think we got a Pedrea one year, but other than that, it's a nice number. Just hasn't been good to us this year so far. Maybe this year will be different. And then we have some numbers from Valladolid that we were. This one, I don't know, where did I get this one? I don't know where that came from. Some come from work, right? I get it from the place I work at, and also my wife got one from her place, because that's another thing. I said, this whole system here is really interesting. It's a cultural thing more than just a lottery. There's a lot of having to do what Spanish culture is about behind this event in this day. And as I said, it's funny. People think, almost everyone participates. Almost everyone does. At maybe just having one ticket. Others have 30 tickets. But this is such a classic tradition in Spain, and yet there's more to it, as I said, than just looking at just winning a lottery number, or winning a lottery, getting the jackpot, and so you can buy your tickets. These usually go on sale in summer. I don't know what the official first day is, but usually you start to see people buy them in summer, and it goes on throughout the fall up until December 21st, the day before. And then you see them in restaurants and bars, usually, cafeterias and different places in Spain. And almost every place will have its number. And so you can get one there. And then a lot of people get at least one number from where they work. Usually you get at least one ticket, or maybe several tickets of that same number. The idea being that let's all participate if we want to. It's sort of recommended that you do. The fear being that if you don't participate, and that winning number, that the number that you have is one of the winning numbers, well, you'll feel left out because you didn't participate. You didn't take out a number. So there's a bit of pressure there. Not a lot of serious pressure, but people want to feel like they're going to be part of the excitement if it ever comes. And that's how it works. I'm going to keep repeating this system because, as I said, a lot of people just don't know how it works, and they don't know where this goes. And this is the Christmas lottery. It's the oldest. Spain has the oldest still going lottery in the world, and they what they do here is you buy a ticket. Wait a second, let's see what's happening here. We have one, nothing new. They're just giving us this. What I have, I'm looking at the Spanish television, and they're giving out the numbers. As I said, the 3 numbers. The biggest prize we have so far is third prize. Now that third prize, I believe, is 500. Is it 500,000? A lot of people will not have. If you have that number, which was 11,840, I don't have that number for sure. I don't have that number. But if you do have that number, well, if you probably didn't win 500,000 unless you have all 10 of that number. And most people have just one ticket, which is what they call a 10th. And the 10th is, so you would win a 10th of that 500. You'd win 50,000, which is, considering you woke up this morning and were 50,000 euros poorer, well, it's a nice way to start the Christmas season. And here they are. They're still every once in a while they stop. The kids who are calling out the winning numbers, and then the people behind them move these huge cage-like balls where the numbers and the prizes are, so that they could, sort of like when you're playing bingo or something, whenever you just mix up the numbers again a little bit. Here's the system. This is how it works. Let's say Mas Madrugador was in 2004. And started 3 minutes after beginning. So after beginning the draw. So the fastest jackpot number to be announced was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and it took just 3 minutes for that number to come out. And that's really fast. As you can see, we've been on this for almost an hour and a half, and we don't even have the second prize. We don't have the first prize. We don't have most of the fourth or fifth prizes. So there's still a lot of major prizes that we're waiting to come out, or waiting to find out about. This is part of this system. Another thing that makes it interesting, that you're trying to get this. It's not a winner where it goes where you say. Where you have, it's not this winner where they go, well, now we're going to do our fifth prizes, fourth prizes, third prizes, second prizes, and first prize. It just comes out randomly, and we just all you have to do is sort of wait and see what happens, and that's how it goes. There's really no other. It's that surprises. Another thing that surprises people. I'm going to put this up here because I think I feel. Let me see, how does that work? Does that work what I'm looking for? I'm sorry if it's a little wobbly here. I'm trying to find out what works best here. So I have my winners here, and that's it. And they come out randomly. So first prize can start. Usually the draw starts at 9:00. And that it can happen at 9:00, or it can happen at 1 o'clock this afternoon. It might be 2 hours before we get the first prize. I'm having a little, what they call marzipan. This is marzipan, which is a typical Christmas sweet that they have now. Have one of them. Give me a shot of sugar and energy to make it through the morning. So far, while I'm waiting, I think I'm going to take advantage of this time and just sort of add more information. Okay, I'm going to go down here, and I think I'm going to say first prize, and I'm going to put it in as we go. I'm going to just start adding information here. So this is 4 million. Second prize was 1.25 million. Third prize is 500K. And I can just put N so we don't get too much space there. Kids are still calling out the different smaller ones that they call the Pebble prizes. That's what I'm calling it, at least. That's the first time I have this here. And now we have the fourth prizes, which are 125,000, 200,000, and it's 200K. Oops, 200K. And then the fifth prize is 60. And I said, usually whatever that prize amount is not what you win. You usually win a tenth of that because, there you go. See if it's loading. Okay. That's a little bit bigger. And usually win a tenth of that because normally you don't have all 10 of that same number. And we have to see here, I'm still shouting out numbers. I'm not sure if I like this system. I think I'm going to go back to what I was originally doing. I think this is just a little bit too crazy. And there's some light here. It's a little bit dark. But I have it in front of me. Now, when I was hoping last year, here's our system. Here we are. And we are here watching this live, the annual, they call it el sorteo de Navidad. And it's the Lotería Nacional. This is the national lottery. This Christmas lottery has been going on for over 200 years, since 1812. Oh, wait, no. And it's really a major part of Spanish culture and Spanish life, or just a tradition. Who would ever guess, if you think of places like Spain with its traditional Catholic culture and its, I don't know, religious, tradition in Spain, that you'd think that the last thing you'd think of is of a lottery as being part of the tradition, but it really is big, and it's going on for almost as old as my country, United States, where I was born, and since the War of 1812. How's that? And so, well, there we have it. We have people who are watching it or listening. Most people are not watching it like I am. They might be have it in the background. It's a Sunday, so they've got things to do, and it's just a few days before Christmas. So we're going to. I'm just going to see if this. I think I'm going to change this back. And just as we're trying to do, we're trying to. And just as they're trying to do here with the on TV, they're just biding time, making time until we find out what these winning numbers are. They'll be interviewing people, going to different parts of the country. That's another thing, as I said, about this lottery, which is interesting, that, you know, because there are 193 series of the same number and 10 tickets for each series. So you're doing the math, we came up with the number 1,930 of these tickets. A lot of times these things are spread out, and so you might have in a particular town a certain number, which has, where more of that number, maybe 10 series or 10 or of that same number in a city or a small or a big town. And so people will buy a lot of the same number. And if that happens to be a jackpot, well, what happens is that a lot of people in that same town will have won a lot of money. And I've seen that. I saw one up in Leon, where the jackpot hit this tiny village. And you know, within a few years, everyone had huge home improvements being done, and or just building houses all together. So, you know, that a huge injection of capital into a small town, and that will happen. Or in cities, I remember many years ago, I think Segovia, the city of Segovia, which is not a big city. When we remember in Spain, when we talk about cities, we have to think about that. I think it's a whole different level compared to maybe United States, where you have lots and lots of big cities. But in Europe, you'll have major cities, but then you'll have smaller cities. But by cities, they're a lot smaller than you'd think. Segovia's population, I don't know. Segovia is actually pretty big. It's close to Madrid, and you can get to Madrid pretty quickly. So it's one of those cities that are doing okay. But when it's its population it is, let me see, it's not coming up immediately. Let me see what Segovia's population is. I think it's something I could have come up quick. I'm just going to have to, population 2024, 50,000. There you go. It's smaller than my hometown. And my hometown in the United States would be considered a town, or we call it a town. And here you have a city. It's a capital city, and its population is just under 51,000. So, but, you know, one year, a lot of the same winning number was sold, or almost on occasion, you'll almost find that the whole city might have the entire number. So you might have, 2,000 people winning a lot of money, and that will make a big difference. Anyway, here we are, still 3 prize winners, and that's it. I mean, this is unusual in that sense, because normally you'd see after an hour and 45 minutes that most of the you'd have more prizes. But this every year is a lottery within the lottery, and we'll see where this all goes. Pretty soon we're gonna have to start seeing some winning numbers coming out. It should be. I mean, It's just a matter of time because there are only so many winning numbers available. Now they're spinning the balls again so that they can give all the numbers a chance to sort of move around, and then they go down this chute that the boy or girl will pick up, and then they will let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm trying to see. This is a young girl. She's calling out the winning number. The boy is saying what it is. Most times they're just saying 1,000 euros. They're saying 1,000 euros, which is the pebble. One of the pebble prizes, and those are 1,000 euros each. Now, normally, unless you have the full number or a series, which would be 10 tickets, that's 1,000 euros. Most people would get 1/10 of that, which is 100, and that's the most common prize. And hey, it's not a game changer. It's not a life changer by any stretch of the imagination, but it's fun. A few days before Christmas, to get a little $100 put into your pocket. But obviously, people are always hoping for one of the 16 prizes. I know people have done that. I mean, as I said, this is not something. This is what makes this. I think one of the reasons behind the success of this lottery is that if people will win. I mean, it's the odds are far more favorable than in most places. I say La Pedrera, they say 1 in 56, which is not terrific, but it's not bad. And then all numbers to have the same. Okay, 100, 1 in 100. They're pretty good odds. And obviously, the first prize is 1 in 100,000. Now you say, well, those are not great odds, but if you consider that when you compare to other places like the Euro Millions, where the odds of winning it is 1 in 139 or 140 million, or the odds of getting Mega Millions is 1 in 300 million, which are the odds that they're telling you of hitting that jackpot. Well, relatively speaking, 1 in 100,000 is a pretty good probability to work with, and that's and plus, what else would we say? The winning number goes out to a lot more people. It's spread out. The wealth is spread, and people will enjoy it. So it's a whole different concept behind the lottery. It's not about one person taking it all. It's oh wait, there is a number. There we go. This is a 5th prize, 60,000, and the number is. Oh, they just sold it. Something sent. Let me see. And the kids coming up, they're all excited. Oh, that's so cute the way they sing it out. They sing out. Okay, so what? He's good at what he does. 72,853. So I'm going to write this down. 72,853. 72,853. 853. So that's another fifth prize. I'm gonna have to update that here. Let's go there. Let's update. 72,853. There we go. And that's there. We've got 6 more prizes. Okay. And they're going to be coming up soon because we've got we've named 4 prizes, only 25% of the major prizes. And we're 2 hours into this draw. So we're an hour and 45 minutes. So we'll see what happens here. I don't see anything that looks familiar there, but that's okay. We'll see. Sometimes you win prizes for reasons that you're not aware of. Right? Sometimes for example, one way you can win a prize is by it being having the same, I believe, last 2 numbers as the first prize. So you get, let me think, por terminación, I think. Yeah, if it's the last 2 digits, for example, in addition to the pebble prizes that Pedrea I was telling you about, if you get if your ticket number, the last 2 digits of your ticket number are the same as the first prize, then it's like winning a Pedrea. You get I think the easiest is to talk about with a decimo. You'd win €100. If your last 2 digits are the same as the second prize, you'd win €100. And if your last 2 digits are the same as the last 2 digits of the third prize, then you could also win 100. That's with one of these tickets. This was one of these tickets. And let me just poke my head, take a look. 40. I don't think I have a 40 anywhere there. That would be third prize. So, 43. Looks like that's a no-go, at least in that sense. I mean, a lot of these you don't have to. Okay. So we have 4 of the 16 major prizes have been called out. But we're still waiting for the first and second prize. And they're going to be out at any time. That's for sure. Because it's been almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. And we're still waiting. And the dog here is still waiting peacefully. Going for a walk this morning in the park. And so he's sacked out. And that's where we are. Let me tell you, this is the annual Christmas lottery, one of the great traditions in Spanish culture at this time of year. This is a lottery that's held every December 22nd. And it's doesn't matter what day it is. This year it's a Sunday, so it's not just held on Sunday because it's Sunday. If it's a Wednesday, it's a Wednesday. And that's when they hold this draw, and it's done every year. It's been done every year since 1812. I think there have been a few years where they didn't do it. I'm pretty sure in the Spanish Civil War, there were a couple of years where nothing was done. And I think there was one year, I'm going to have to look that one up, in the Spanish Civil War where they had 2 drawings. I think one on each side had their own version. Let me check that out. I think I read that somewhere, but I can't remember. And I think there were a couple of moments in over the last 200 years, which for whatever reason, they didn't do it. Let me see if I can find something here on the history. 1912. It's always been the same. But for some reason, I think there was a time where, or a year or two, where they actually held 2. Let's see, sorteo. Let's see if we see something that came up there. Okay. See, in 1938 or 1939. That's what I love about Spanish history. You can't get, I mean, this is stuff that should be automatic. People should know this. And I don't, you just find two, major periodicals who just will tell you, you have to look for, just find, but someone, this is El Mundo. I mean, that's a major newspaper, and they're saying from 2 weeks ago. Let's see what they say here, if they want me to give the article. 1938. Here they say 38. Okay, they do. So I was right. Yeah, in 1938, they actually had two different editions. One on the Republican side and the other on the Nationalist side, the Franco's side. And is that, see, that's a video. Is that true then? On occasion, blah, 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 yeah, and they had one in Barcelona, I believe, and the other in Burgos. And, here they're giving it live. It's so funny. And so the governor of Republic to Valencia in 36. And then they did one in Barcelona in 37 and 38. And then in 38, they had the nationalists or the uprisers under Franco held their own lottery in Burgos. And so there were actually two in 1938. So that's what I think I had heard that before. And I was right. So that was, so that's interesting. Let me see about this. I'm looking at something. There was a famous video. Oh, that's a 70,000. It's a third of 7. Oh, stop doing that. They cut it off right when we're trying to get the number. Okay, so what they do is they go over to a table next, and they show them the. That's the second. This pair, because they rotate the kids who call out the number. It's not the same kids doing it all morning. They would die. They rotate those numbers. So what happens is they came back, and this same pair of kids, I think this is at 74,778. So wow, that's interesting. It's not. We've got now 3 numbers in the 70,000s. 74,778. I'm going to copy this down here just so I have it. I should do a disclaimer here because the good thing is I have plenty of time to double check. Let me just double check and see if this is all the same number. And okay, let's see here. Is that true? Okay, let's go here. We have a third. Okay, 74,778. So that's true. Let's just update this to make sure we're all doing the 74,778. But that doesn't matter because that's okay. That would be nicer. 74778. So there are 3 winning numbers in the 70,000. 74778. So let me just update that for you, and we will move on. Let me do this here. I'm not sure if my computer's handling all this. I think I got a lot going on here. All right. So that's that one. Let's update this one. 7478. I'm going to do a This is the number I see on the screen. It may not be the one that we and now 3 fifth prizes, 1 fourth prize, 1 third prize, and we're still waiting for a first prize, a second prize, 4 more fourth prizes, and 5 more fifth prizes. So there's still lots of chances of winning something, and we'll hopefully get there soon and see how that works. This is my I guess, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Anyway, we have no luck so far. At least a much needed coffee. Thank you. Are you gonna go up to the?
Yeah.
All right. You do the.
You don't have any luck.
Well, not from the big stuff for the moment, but we'll see. But then you have the pebble prizes. But we just learned something. That there were 2. And actually, I knew it. I knew this was, but we knew there was a. I was just reading. I was at the lottery. I read about. Did I show you that video about all the politicians in Spain hugging each other? I'll send it to you. I thought for sure it was AI. Artificial intelligence. I thought for sure, but now I'm starting to see an article. Like it seems like either, this Spanish writer was congratulating the politicians on doing this effort of giving a hug. So maybe it's real. So, and if it is, I think it was a nice gesture. And I think it's healthy to do that. But so maybe I was wrong. But anyway, let's see what happens here. And I'm going to do, I guess Clara, she can do this one. Do you have the link?
¿Se lo mandó?
Yeah. No, you can do it too. Let me see. Let me pick it up here. There we go.
¿Se lo mando yo?
I'll send it. See if she does it. Okay. See what happens. No, wait. Yeah, that's it. The first. So here we are with the first prize. We're missing first prize, and as most people, there's a lot to talk about with this. There's a lot to talk about with this lottery because it's different in so many different ways. One of them has to do with how the lottery prizes come out. And it's not goes from like the fifth prize down to the first prize because the system is these 2 huge balls which are like cages, and the winning numbers and the winning prizes come from different randomly. You can get the first prize come out within the first few minutes, or it may not show up until the very end. There's no knowing. That's the jackpot there, worth $4 million. And what happens is, in fact, in 2004, the first prize came out within 4 minutes after it started, which is very, very early, an early bird prize. Considering this is a draw that goes on for 4 hours. Basically, these kids are still calling the numbers out. This is the same pair that has now called out 2 of the 4 winning numbers, or the 5 winning numbers. As I said, it's not the same two kids calling out the numbers all morning long. It's just too much for them. They rotate, and it's a big honor for these kids to be doing that. And what we're doing is we're just trying to, they practice, they rehearse this. This used to be a school called San Ildefonso. Was still that's the name of the school, but before it was an orphanage, and there was the people who were there were were orphans and were unable. It was sort of their way of calling out. And here's another thing, that if they get if whoever calls out a winning number, especially like the jackpot, the first number, as far as I know, and I think I've heard this, that usually someone who wins part of that will donate something to these kids. I'm not sure, that's not a requirement by any stretch of the imagination, but it is sort of what I've heard that's done. People will try to. These are the students who go to this school. I think I'll have to do a little podcast on this one, because I know the school went through some rough moments where I thought they were going to close it down, or they were going to make it. But it's over the last 20 years. It's gone through. If I'm not incorrect, things I've read about over the years, it went through some tough times. But anyway, it's still the same school, same kids. They wear their uniforms. They call it out, and it's a big honor for them. And they rehearse this. They sing out the numbers, and as they say in Spanish, cantar. They sing the numbers. They call them out, and it's a pretty cool tradition. So anyway, we are back right now. There's a break. I think it's a new pair of students who are going to be coming in and it's their turn. In the meantime, you watch on Spanish TV. This is live on Spanish TV. It goes on all morning long, and and what they do is, they have to buy time there, because they have it's a long process. We're still missing the first prize, second prize. We have third prize, as you can see on the screen. 1 fourth prize, but we're still missing, I think, 4 more. Is it 4? Is it 5 overall? I can't remember. Let me take a look. Double check. No, I'm wrong. There's only 2 fourth prizes. So we're missing 1 fourth prize and then 5 fifth prizes. Okay, for some reason I thought there were more fourth prizes, but it's just 2. So we're missing 1. So we're missing first and second, 1 fourth prize and 5 fifth prizes. And that's where we are. Now let me go over how this system works, because I'm going to repeat this over and over again, because it's an interesting system. This is not go to, if in the United States or somewhere, you buy your lottery ticket and your Powerball or your Mega Millions, and you just wait and see what the winning number is, and whatever that winning number is, all that jackpot goes to you. You can also win if you have 4, the 5 winning numbers or something, you'll win a prize. Okay. It'll be a lot less than winning the jackpot, but that will only go to those people with that number. And obviously it goes down. So if you have 2 of the winning numbers, and you might get a smaller prize. So in that sense, it's sort of similar, but there's a twist here. When they say, for example, let me tell you how many numbers there are. There are 100,000 numbers, going from 00000 all the way up to 99,999. And then each number has 193 series. Now, when I say in a series is 10 of these things here. These are called a decimo. This is a 1/10 of that series. And this ticket right here costs 20 euros. And that's your standard bet. And for the lottery, a 20 euro bet. If you want to get the entire series, then you can buy that. You buy a series, they get all 10 tickets, and that will be 200 euros. And this is important to know because when you see the prizes given out, for example, if you look on the screen there, it says first prize 4 million. That 4 million, actually, I'm going to do this because I'm lucky enough to have, okay, would go to to the person who had 10 of this same number. Now, I have a whole section. This would be buying a whole series. This was not planned, but I happen to have, okay, let me get this right with this. Okay, I have the numbers here. And that number would be, oh, wait, there's a prize. Hold on, I'll tell you more in a second. We have an update. Let me see what this says. Okay, the second, fourth prize. Let me just get us updated before I forget, and I'll get back to you in a second. All right, let me update this. This is pretty exciting here because I'm figuring out the best way to do this. This is, by the way, my first live stream, if you haven't noticed. And wait, what's the number? Oh, they always cut it off. Wait, 48. 20, 48, 20. Okay. I'm not sure if you can hear in the background. You can hear kids calling out the number. And that's an exciting moment for them too, because they get to, they want to be the ones calling out the winning numbers. Was it 48? Okay. Or 20. 48, 20. So it's 48020. And that is the other fourth prize. I was going to put the second prize, and I'm going to get rid of that because that's wrong. And that is the second fourth prize. So we're done with the fourth prizes. Maybe I'll put a little color here so we can say we're done with that. I know. I keep putting the third prize. I'm going all over the place. There we go. Okay, so our prizes, I'm going to highlight them because I feel like highlighting. And I'm going to highlight them and give them, we're done with that group. Or maybe I won't. I'm just going down the wrong road here. And if they're down to the wire, oh, there they go. But we'll ignore that for the moment. And that's what we're saying. So anyway, what I was telling you was that this is a if you win that prize, okay. For example, here we just won fourth prize, which was 48020. If you have 10 of these, and it's not that winning number, unfortunately, you would win 200,000. But if you have what most people have, imagine I just had one of that number, and this is the decimal, I get a tenth of that, which is 20,000. So it's not a game changer. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna be able to retire early, but it would certainly be helpful, and that's what makes it special, because a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people. Thousands and thousands of people are participating in this and will win. And that's sort of that spreading the wealth is, I think, sort of a very Spanish thing to do. People want not just to win everything for themselves, they want everyone to win something. Okay, exactly. Thank you, Susana, for your message. Yes, this is a cool tradition. And I think a lot of people are having enjoying this, and hopefully we can learn a little bit more about what this is all about. Put a little heart there. Let me see if I can. That's what we're here for.
Bueno, hablábamos antes de esa programación especial navideña que tiene preparada para
And let me edit. I spelled it wrong.
Programación familiar.
I said the rhythm because I spelled it wrong.
Última cita clásica, esta sorteo de Navidad y vamos a televisión. Televisión es grande, sí, este año, ¿no? Se unirá a más de 120 profesionales de la televisión española en la edición con más participantes de la historia. Representan Patricia Conde
Anyway.
Albizua y esos 120. Lucía,
So we are down to two major prizes, and we're down to the and we have five fifth prizes so far. I don't know, and once again, I don't know if I've won anything because there are all these pebble prizes, the one that are 1,000 each, and since there are so many of those prizes coming out, there's really no way of knowing. You have to wait and check online later on, and you check your numbers. But anyway, as I was saying, you have these numbers. If you have a whole series, that would become like this, a big block. That would be 10 of these, 200. And this I have with some friends. It's not just all for me, although. And if I were to win one of those major prizes, say the first prize, that would be 4 million right here. But here's the thing. You could actually win more because you potentially may have some people might buy the same number and they might buy 3 of those same series. So they'll have 60 of those tickets. Is that right? Yes, 60. And so whatever the winning winning amount is, for example, 4 million, well, you have to multiply it times 3. So you get 12 million. So it's once again, it's not just winning the number. It's not just it's how much you put into your winning number, how much you invest. And that's how the system works. So we are there. I think we're still, so they've caught up a little bit. So it's been a little over 2 hours, but now we've gotten to 3 fifth prizes, 2 fourth prizes, 1 third prize, and then a first and a second prize, and that's left. And we have 5 more fifth prizes, and then whatever else is possible from the Pebble thing. And that's where we are. I'm going to be here for at least another hour. Oh, no, another one. Here it comes. Let's see.
Bien. 11-21. Quinta tabla, el 45.456. Vamos a comprobar que sea así. El que han cantado los niños
Let
en
me
esta
see.
quinta tabla, y también han cantado antes.
That's 56, another fifth prize. Are you going to the carniceria? Okay. 45, 5, 4, 5, 6, 45, 45, 6. 45, 45, 6. Okay, let's update that number there. 45, 45, 6. We'll update this one here. I'm just writing these numbers out as they come. And that's another one. Okay. I'm going to take a little as I sort of maybe just close out categories. Let's do okay, yeah. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I didn't think so. Let's go back. And I think it's this one. There we go. Highlight. And you listen to the commentators, and they're just okay.
Madre mía.
Okay, I can't seem to get the highlight in there, but that's all right. I should. Custom color. And they're calling out. So we have those winning numbers. Maybe I should do it. Maybe just make it thicker. I'm trying to think. The systems this isn't as effective. Border color, no. I want to text box. No, I don't want to do that. And I think we're done. Anyway, we'll just go there for the minute and we'll figure it out. But anyway, those are the prizes so far. I'm going to double check here. I have to do a disclaimer to make sure I'm not publishing numbers that are not true. Someone's going to be screaming up and down saying, hey, I won the, because Brian said so. And that's not necessarily the case. Let's take a look here.
Y atención porque las víctimas de las bromas, secretos en Belén Rueda, Tony Nadal, Lara Álvarez, Manu Vaquero e India Martínez.
Let's take a look. Double checking online. Seeing we've got the same numbers there. 11840. Good. Second, the 2 fourth prize is 77768. And then 48020. That's good. And now we have 37,876. See, that's good. I'm glad I got that because I just picked up on that one. 72,853, 74,778, and 45,456. Exactly. There we go. Now let me see here. I have to update that one. See, I'm glad I double check here. Do let's there we go. 70. So we still got 4 more 5th prizes, and we still got the big ones, the jackpot, El Gordo, and the 2nd prize. And we're waiting for them to come out. When that will happen? Well, it can happen right now or another hour. Let me see here. Yep. You can hear that in the background. You can hear the kids screaming out the numbers. Well, not screaming. They're singing out the numbers. It's a little more orderly. It sounds nice. Oh, here's the first prize. Yeah, I just heard it. I told you it could come out anytime. What is it? Here's our first prize. Okay, guys. Here's our big moment. Oh, 80. I don't think I have anything like that. I just heard the terminal. Someone that, because this is live. 70,000 again. 72,480. 72,480. That is the first prize. 74. Look at how many numbers are in 70,000 this year. And 72,480. So they just called out the first prize, and that's the big moment. Now, of course, because you have 4 hours to do this. There it is. Okay, well, there it is. The first prize, 72,480. It's a nice number, but I tell you, 70,000, 1, 2, 3, 4. The numbers in the 70,000s, and another 8. That's what they've been talking about on the TV. They've been saying, "Oh, it's how many numbers have an 8 in them?" And except of the numbers that they've called out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no, 8. Oh, wow, in Logroño. Wow, okay. Logroño, which is in La Rioja, which is the famous wine region. Apparently, that entire number was sold in that city. So remember I was telling you about that before? I was telling you about how certain places, certain numbers just might be, some numbers are spread out all over the place. And there's 72, 480. I've got that right. Okay. So I was telling you that, some of these numbers are spread out. You'll be Madrid, Barcelona, I don't know, Seville, the Canaries, and then other numbers are almost exclusively sold in a certain city. The good question I'm asking myself now is why that is, and how that works, and it'd be interesting to take a look into that. But one of the interesting things there is what I was telling people is that this is something that people will you can in a city like Logroño. Logroño just got a ton of money. Well, I mean, sometimes people not necessarily from Logroño. Sometimes you're in there and you see in a bar and you buy the number and you actually live in Malaga. So it doesn't have to be everyone from that city, but certainly most of the people who probably bought a ticket there are probably from there or from the surrounding area, and so that's pretty crazy. Now I don't have that number because I haven't been Logroño, and so therefore I didn't win that. But that doesn't mean there's still second prize and there's still a couple of fifth prizes and the four fifth prizes and one second prize. So okay, so first prize came out sort of right in the middle, right down the center. And that's where we are. Okay, the fifth prize, fifth prizes. Anyway, so what I was saying, that this is these. If you have all 10 of that same number, a series, well, then you've won 4 million. Probably most people will have just a decimo, 1/10 of them. So what they're gonna have is with 400,000, and that's not bad. Hey, that's certainly that could be a big difference in your life. Nowadays, the way things are, depending on your age, and when you're 85, well, that's certainly going to be. But you might give it out to your kids or something. But I said, if you're 20, well, it's certainly going to help in life. You won't be able to retire on that at the age of 30. Probably not even at the age of 50. But it certainly helps. And as I said, a lot of people are going to win money. A lot of people. They were talking about someone possibly being in the audience because this is done live. I don't know what's done this year. I think I want to say it's in the Royal Theatre in the Opera House. But let me double check there. I want to say that. I know they've done it before there. Let me double check there. Where did they celebrate it this year? Yeah, Teatro Real. They're doing it in the Opera House. That's what I thought. And so that's pretty cool. Okay, well, excitement there, especially if you are in Logroño right now. I think the Rioja wine is going to be flowing pretty big because there are probably a lot of people in Rioja screaming and shouting in the streets with glee, because that's been a pretty amazing result there. Yeah, I've got Susanna saying that this is cooking lunch with kids, singing the numbers behind. Could it be more typical? Exactly. That's just what you just normally. You're not like me sitting in front of a screen and watching this. You're just doing whatever you're doing, and in the background you have this the kids singing in the background, the numbers, and you'll just pause every time they call out a winning number of the major prizes, obviously, because they're still doing it so quickly. They're calling out so many numbers that it's impossible for them, for anyone to be following every winning number. That's where you go later on. You go online and you check your number to see if it won anything. So anyway, we are now down to our final. Well, we have second prize left and 4 fifth prizes left, and it's been a pretty cool morning. It's been a pretty spread out, and some tension as people were waiting for the first prize to come out. And the number is now 72,480. That's first prize. That's El Gordo, the big winning number. That's 4 million euros to anyone who has 10 tickets of that number, which is called a series. Uh, from what happens is every time they call out a winning number, the people on the presenters will then give you information about where that ticket was sold for the most part. Um, and so a lot of times these numbers are sold in different places, different cities. Um, and then sometimes, as I was telling you earlier about one case that happened in Segovia, well, this happened today too. Apparently, this number, 72,480, so it's 72480, the winning number, was sold exclusively in the city of Logroño, which is the capital city of a region called La Rioja. And Rioja might sound familiar to some of you because of the wine, the red wine, especially. It's the famous wine region, and that's the capital city. And apparently, if I got the information right, that number was sold exclusively in that city. So that's pretty incredible. That's the um, and that's cool because that's a lot of money going into one place. And as I said, this ticket, and once again, if you're not familiar with this system, well, let's give you an idea. Uh, 4 million goes to people who have all 10 numbers, but most people 10 tickets, one series. Most people have one of those 10 tickets. It's called a decimo, a tenth. So that means you'll win a 400,000 if you have one of those. There are 193 series. So 193 times 10, if my math is correct, is 1,930 of these tickets, each one worth 400,000, and all of them sold in the same city. Now, that doesn't mean they sold necessarily all of those tickets. It also doesn't mean that everyone who bought that number was from Logroño, because it will be typical. Maybe it was sold in a bar or something like that, and people who are there who are visiting the city say, "Hey," and this is typical. Sometimes when you're traveling around, you will want to buy a lottery ticket from wherever you're visiting, especially in the weeks and months coming up to Christmas. Sort of as for some reason you think maybe it's gonna bring you good luck or something like that to do that, and you'll have that. And well, uh, I'm sure there are many people who have this number who are not from Logroño. They were just going through, or they were visiting the city, and did that little mini tradition of just buying a lottery ticket from the place we are visiting. And so most likely, many of these tickets, not the majority, but many tickets are people who actually lived in another part of Spain. But anyway, the majority certainly went to the city, and that can be very noticeable. Can be very noticeable. and I've seen it happen. And I think it's even more noticeable in a small city. I think even a small city like Logroño. Let me find out. We said Segovia's population was the Segovia's population was 50,000. Logroño, I think, is bigger, but not much. Let me see population. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's quite a bit bigger, 150,000. So it's the main city in that region, in that province. So it may be less noticeable, but in a small town, as I said, I've seen it, in small towns, maybe with 200, 300, 500 people, where the only lottery ticket that was the winning one, most of it was sold in that town, or at least in that town, most people, if they had a lottery ticket, it was that number. And if that's the case, then you will see in the next few years, the following years, this mass, people updating their houses, renovating their houses, or building new ones, and you can see where that's happened. Anyway, so yes, as Susana is out cooking and lunch and listening to the kids, well, that's what people are doing. They're going about their lives, and in the background you have the singing. You hear that voice of the kids. And now we're sort of taking a break here as they're waiting for a new set. I think there could be a new set of kids coming in to continue with the singing. It is now 11:40 in the morning, and it's been going on for 2 hours, over 2 hours and 35 minutes. Yeah, it didn't start immediately at 9, but it was pretty close. And this is my first live stream for Brian Spain Domain. I thought this was a good place to start. Something we can go as we listen, and you can learn about this incredible tradition. A very old tradition. It's been going on since 1812, and since 1812. I was going to check also. I think there was a couple of years where it didn't happen at the end of the 19th century. I don't know why I think that, but I think. And then there were some years during the Spanish Civil War where it took place. I don't know how they were able to do this, because it would always take place in Madrid, but during the first few years, they did it in Valencia. And then this is the Republican government, the legitimate government. And then in 37, 38, and 39, I think they were 37, 38, they did it in Barcelona. And then in 1938, you had the sort of the quirky year where you had 4 people. No, they had a lottery draw in Barcelona with the Republican government, and then the Franco supporters and the nationalists, or the uprisers, had their own lottery in the city of Burgos. So you had 2 that year. And how that was done in the middle of a civil war, which cost the lives of somewhere in the neighborhood of 500,000 people, or 3 years of bloody fighting. How people are able to do that, or how they can make it work, more just the logistics, has always been a bit surprising. But who knows? They did. And anyway, this is the oldest tradition. It goes on every year. It's always on December 22nd. Always December 22nd. And it's always so it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. This year it's Sunday, which is also why I was able to do this. Otherwise, maybe if it were Saturday, I could do it. But if it's Sunday, if it's Wednesday or Thursday, that's the day it is. And so I know it's always 22nd because it's the day I start my vacation for Christmas vacation. So that's, but usually in the morning I'm still working, and it's not the first day of my vacation. It's when it ends. I mean, it's when my work period ends. And so during the morning, I can hear it in the background, but I'm not able to broadcast live and tell you about this. And anyway, this is as I said, one of the great Spanish traditions in Christmas. Unusual because you wouldn't think that something like gambling in a lottery would be something you associate with Spain and Christmas, and yet there you have it, and it's something. I don't know what happened. What I'm watching. Oh yeah. I think one of them got confused. One of the two kids who are students got confused. I'm listening here. And the judge there behind said, just carry on, go with it. Because even though they're calling out numbers, and this is something that's important to know, even though they're calling out numbers, that's not the official word. They still, everything has to be checked again and rechecked. So before they publish the winning numbers, which in general are never going to change from the ones that are being called out, but just in case, that's the official number when they print out the winning numbers in the end. So sometimes, it's not easy to call out numbers. You might get confused. And so therefore, they have to, they can't rely on that. They know these are kids. They do a great job. And it sounds good. And they rehearse it and they practice it. But, they're humans. You can make mistakes. But there they go. So they're doing okay. And they must get nervous at first, I'm sure. I'd be terrified. Be on live TV. But anyway, we're still waiting for a second prize and 4 fifth prizes to be announced. And then I'm going to turn this down because I'm getting distracted. And there we are. But it was sort of cool to listen to it. I hope you could hear it in the background because you can hear those voices and then that singing. And that's, you get the feel for what it's really like to be doing, to be here in Spain and listening to that. And hopefully we will get the rest of the numbers out pretty soon. Anyway, as I was telling you, this is this tradition is always on the 22nd. And people start buying the lottery tickets months in advance. Sometimes, it could be yesterday. Some people were buying them yesterday. Others buy them in, starting summer. And it's a ticket. It costs 20 euros, at least the typical ticket. And Loteria, let me just check something here. Let me check here. There are several. There are several that are very famous, especially around the Puerta del Sol, Doña Manolita, and places like that, where just people line up for weeks and weeks, and they just want to get their number there. There are particular places which seem to win prizes more often than others. So that always generates more business for the person who's selling the winning number or the lottery tickets. I do believe that some of this is just basic, obvious math here, because if more people buy, if you sell more different numbers and more people buy them at your place, there's a bigger chance that one of those prizes is going to land at that be one of the numbers that you sold. So the more popular you become, the more numbers you sell. So sort of that fame that you have is confirmed because you will win numbers again. Now, as far as I'm listening to this, not many prizes have been of the winning numbers. The major prizes are being associated with Madrid. So, which is what I'm telling you, that this is something that's spread out. I mean, it's not good news for me because most of my tickets are from Madrid, but Still, there are certain places that will sell lots of them, and there are lines going out the door, around the corner every day, especially in the weeks leading up to the lottery. And that's what we have here. Then we have this number. As I said, you buy these tickets, you buy you can get them at these places, these outlets where you can buy them, or it's also very common for people who are, if you work here, your company usually buys some lottery tickets, and then if you want to have participate, they say this is the company number, and you can usually buy one ticket, a decimo, right, which is 20 euros. And that way people feel like they're all betting on the same number. And if it's one of the winning numbers, well, if we all win, then we're excited about it. So you never know. I've had my company, one of my daughters is working at a company. She's got her number. My wife has a number from her company. That's pretty typical. So you see, this is more than just going to a place and getting a lottery number. There's a whole cultural thing behind it, and the winning number is not a winning number for one person. Not one person, one number that only one person can have, right? It's a number that has usually thousands of winners, and at least 2,000 winners, and then you have things like that. So that's the sort of the cool thing that makes this so special. You can see they're still calling out the numbers. This is done in the Opera House, and you have the a live audience there watching it. I've never done that. I think you usually have to know someone to be there and watch it live. But on more than one occasion, a person who was in the audience has had one of the winning numbers, and they'll be stand up and say, "Hey, that's mine. I have one. I have that number." So it's fun for them. And then usually the people I've heard, if you call out the winning number, one of those students who call out the winning numbers, well, they will be able to benefit from that too. I've heard of people who have won money. They might give some money as just a nice gesture to a person who is to the student who called out the number. So we are down, still waiting for the second prize to come out, still waiting for 4 more fifth prizes to come out, and hopefully they will come out soon. I'm not sure if they're going to make it to the very end, because I have a couple of things I have to do. But I wanted to share this with you and share this experience with you. And I want to thank you for joining us. I will be back in a second. Let me just hold on for a second. We have one of these prizes here. We're still waiting for the second prize and 4 fifth prizes, and we'll be done. Usually this wraps up before 1 o'clock or around 1 o'clock, and we're getting toward the end. Oh, there's still a lot of, I'm looking at the wooden balls in the small, there are 2 big balls that are cages. It sort of look like something you'd see in a bingo game. And so they're still calling out these numbers, and they're calling out the prizes. And as I was telling you before, this is not the first prize, second prize. It's not announced. Like, now we're going to tell you what the first prize is, and now we're going to tell you what the second prize is. It doesn't work that way. What you need, what they do is they just come out randomly, because you have a big ball, what looks like a cage, with 100,000 wooden balls inside, and each wooden ball has one of those numbers from 0 to 99,999. And then you have another cage where you have the about 2,000 numbers, which will be winning numbers. And so they have to go through that one by one. One number comes out, they'll say what the number is, and they'll say what that prize is. So there are two people who are calling out these numbers. They're singing them out. And one of the students says, first thing they'll do is they'll say what the number is, and the second person will say what the prize is. Most of them, the vast majority, are from this, what they call these pebble, I call pebble prizes, pedrea, and they're worth 1,000 euros. 1,000 euros if you have all 10 of that same number, all 10 tickets. Most people usually just have one of those 10 tickets. So instead of getting 1,000 euros, you get a tenth of that. You get 100 euros, which, is better than nothing. That's for sure. And so most people get something. A lot of people get something, and 100 euros is there. And then you have. So what happens is they're calling out the number, and then eventually, if it's not one of those pebble prizes, it's going to be one of the which I originally said was 8, 16. It's fewer 13 prizes. 15, 8, 10. Yes, 13 major prizes. But they come out when they come out, because there's a ball, as I said, for each of the 100,000 numbers, and there's a ball for each of the nearly 2,000 numbers, the prizes. So whenever that prize comes out, it's associated with that number, and there it goes. The first prize came out about 30 minutes ago, and we're now waiting for the second prize. Third prize came out fairly early, before 10 o'clock. I'd say in the first 30, 40 minutes, we got third prize. And the fourth prize, there was a fourth prize that came out pretty early. And the fifth prize is obviously there are more of them. But we're still only halfway through them. We're still waiting for 4 more fifth prizes. So we're down to that point. What else do we have here? We have the winners. Wait, no. Now that what they do is every once in a while, the students stop calling out the numbers. The big balls that are the cages, they start spinning around, so the balls inside will, sort of mix up the numbers again, and the winning numbers and the prizes. And they're going to go back to the calling out right again. Now they're going to start again. And this is a system that's been going on for years and years and years and years and years. It's for decades. Well, actually 200 years. And I'm not sure if this particular system with the two balls in the cage have been going on for that long. But as far as I've been here for decades, this is what they do, and this is what they've been doing. And so there we are. We're down to our final prizes. This is how it goes again. Let me tell you one sort of, I keep repeating information, but I keep thinking that people may not be familiar with how this works, how this lottery works. This is one of the big lotteries one of the big traditions in Spain. Every December 22nd, we have this lottery, and it is always on December 22nd. It sort of kicks off the Christmas season in Spain. That's changed over the years because now people celebrate Christmas a little bit earlier here. You have the lights and going down to the center of Madrid. But when I first got here, maybe 35 years ago, you notice that there was a different feel. It was sort of slow to get going. But once you had the Christmas lottery, you felt like Christmas time is really starting here. So it was a pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting tradition. It's not the typical thing you'd think about when you think of a country like Spain and its traditions, but this is the way it is, and it's a cool lottery because a lot of people win, and a lot of people they spread the wealth. It's not one prize for one person. It's a winning number that's going to be spread out with a lot of people. And this is what the winning number for this year, the first prize, which is called El Gordo, the fat one, was 72,480. And as far as I know, that number was sold almost exclusively in the city of Logroño. That's what I heard. And so the people in Logroño are pretty happy, very happy. I can only imagine what the aperitivo is going to be like today in the streets of Logroño. That doesn't mean everyone necessarily won something there, but a lot of people did. It also means probably people who were visiting Logroño at that time probably took or in the last few months, probably took a lottery ticket with them before leaving. That's sort of a typical thing to do in this country. You're traveling around, especially in the months leading up to Christmas and the Christmas lottery. You're traveling around and you are visiting someplace and you see the lottery, a Christmas lottery ticket. You say, hey, let's get one and see what happens. Most times nothing happens. You still have the lottery ticket and it doesn't come to anything. But other times, hey, you have that sort of special souvenir from the city you were visiting. I got one. We got one just a few weeks ago. We were in Valladolid, about 2 hours away from Madrid, and we were there for the weekend, and we got a number from there. So far, no luck as far as I know, but we're going to wait and see if some of the minor prizes have come to something. How does the system work again? Well, you have 13 major prizes. 13 major prizes. You have a first prize, which is 4 million. Second prize, which is 1.25 million. Third prize, 500,000. 2 fourth prizes, which are 200,000 apiece, and then 8 fifth prizes, which are 60,000 apiece. And then you have 1,700 plus prizes, which they called sort of the pebble prizes, the pedrea. And each of those is 1,000 euros. If you have, now let me explain this again. It's 1,000 euros if you have all 10 of that same number. And this is what makes this system so cool. Most people just have one ticket. They'll have a ticket which they call the decimo. And the decimo, I'm going to show you here. This is a decimo right here. And that is what most people buy. It costs 20 euros. And what people will do is they will pay for that. And if they win, that number that they have is one of the winning numbers, they will win the prize, the full prize. They'll win 1/10 of it. Okay. So if that number, for example, I just showed you, ends up being a fifth prize, well, you will get 60,000. You won't get 60,000. You will get 1/10 of that. You'll get 6,000, which is still pretty good, considering you started the day with 6,000 euros less. And that's sort of what this system is all about. You don't have a huge mega prize like in the Euro Millions or the Mega Millions in the States, where one winner takes in $500 million, and you have prizes like that. It's nothing like that. The first prize is actually relatively small compared to other compared to other lotteries out there, but more people win something, and in fact more people will win that first prize. So that's what makes it sort of special, because right now I'm telling you, if what I've heard about Logroño is true, that means if you were in Logroño right now, it would be a fun day to be there, because you'll see people in the streets jumping up and down with champagne or probably red wine, because that's what's popular there. And you will see, hundreds of people excited about this. 2 factors about how much money you win. Well, one is having a winning number. And also the second factor is how much money you have bet on that number. One ticket, as I said, the decimo is just 20 euros. Well, actually, it's a pretty big number considering most tickets, lottery tickets in everyday life are maybe $1, $2, or $3 or euros. But, and if you buy a whole series of that number, which is 10 tickets, well, then it's 200 euros. And if you have a whole series, well, then you'll win the whole prize. But you could win more because there are many of series of that same number. There are actually 193 series of the same number. Here, let me just, I have things here, which wasn't my plan here, but I'm glad I do because it might be easier. This is a whole series, okay? You see, if you're looking at this, you see, this is a whole series of one number. That's 10 of these tickets. So if we imagine, for example, that this number was that first prize, 72,480, which it's not, unfortunately, well, then I would have right there, I would have 4 million. But a lot of people don't have this whole thing, this whole series. But anyway, that's what a series is. And of this series, you have actually 193 of these with the same number. So just do the math. Okay, you actually have 193 of these series, so it's 4 million times 193, which is actually what goes out to the people who have that winning number. And but most people, no one's going to have 193 of the same series. That's a big bet. But anyway, because one of these series is 200 euros. A lot of people, what they do is a group of friends might buy a whole series and then they'll spread it out with maybe one ticket a person, or maybe it's between 5 people, so 2 tickets per person. But anyway, that gives you an idea of how much money really goes out for that winning number, but it's spread out. It's spread out, hundreds up to thousands of people will have the same winning number, and they'll be excited. And the same goes for the second prize and the third prize. And that's sort of how it works. Could you have 2 series? Could you have 2 or 3 series of these numbers? You could actually do the, and so that 4 million would be multiplied. If you have a whole series, right? One of these 10, well, then that's, oh wait, they've just told the prize. Hold on, time out. This was 5th prize, 45,225. 45,225. So let me add that. 45,225. That's interesting. Let's go here. 45,225. Let me break this. Add that. That's 2. 45,225. I'll check these numbers again. I don't want to get sued for publishing the wrong number. A disclaimer, I am not taking any responsibility for typos, but I'm going to double check. Actually, I'm glad I did that because I had one number that was off before. Anyway, 45,225. Okay, interesting. There are now 2 45,000s for the 5th prize. A lot of 70,000s, and with 1st prize, 4th prize, 2 5th prizes were in the 70,000s. For a while there, they were saying that all these winning numbers had at least 1 8 in them, except for, that's pretty true. Most of them do. These are sort of the things they talk about when you have to do a 4-hour program on a lottery. You need to just get down to the specific, the big one. You see the kids having a moment, there's big energy. Exactly. I agree with you, Susanna. It's an emotional moment for these kids, because that's like they've been singing and rehearsing for a long time for this moment, and they basically want to be the one to call out the winning number. I agree 100%. and so that's it is, and from maybe you can confirm that for me. I think that one of the and sometimes they actually get some of the winners will donate some money to them. I think that was true, especially in the past when they were orphans. I'm not sure if that's true now, but usually, I don't know, some little bit of their winning number, they might prize, they might donate something to these kids. Anyway, this is the so that's the number there, and that's how that works. So we now down to second prize still left and 3 fifth prizes, and of course a whole bunch of pebble prizes. And anyway, as I was saying, and this happens, and then people, you go buy your tickets. They're all over the place. You can go to these lottery agencies where you just get a lottery ticket, and that's the outlets, and that is certainly a typical place to buy one. There are certain places are particularly famous for being lucky and getting winning numbers. There's one in Catalonia, which was, I think it's in Lerida, in what's it called? It's the Golden Witch, right? Bruce the Or or something. It's in Catalan, and that's won quite a bit. But at the same time, I think as they become more popular, they're selling more numbers, and as they sell more numbers, well, you increase the chances of having a winning number, and so that's certainly something that explains that, at least partially. And so we have that. You can get it there. You can also get it at the I don't know, at bars and restaurants. Almost every bar and restaurant in Spain will sell at least one lottery number. I bought one and almost won the Gordo, the jackpot from getting one in a bar, and seeing the number. I mean, I used to, one day, I told this about 2 hours ago, so I'm not sure if people heard this. About 25 years ago, I saw the winning number, and it was one of those, I can't believe, if only moments. It was one of those if only moments. If I had done something, and if I'd gone through it with it, I would have won it. In fact, I was going to get 2 lottery tickets. I was at the door. It was the day before the lottery. And I was on the calle Narvaez, I'll be honest with you. And it was, and I went to the door, and I saw there only was one number at the window left, one of these decimos. And so if I went in and bought the ticket, that would have been the number because there was nothing else there. But I always went to another place that I would always get this ticket. And I said, it's just about a tradition, because you know how this all works. This is all about superstition and stuff. People get superstitious about this, and you want to go to the same place you've always gone to. So I went to the other place, and by the time I got there, they didn't have any more of those tickets left. And I didn't feel like going all the way back to the agency. And I said, screw it. I'm going to forget about it. I'll just go home. And I didn't. And the next day I woke up, I was watching it on TV just a few minutes, and I saw they came up with the winning number, and it was 8,000 something. I still remember at least that much. It was 8,000. It was 08 and then whatever. And I said, okay, well, that number came out. It came out pretty early too, within the first hour. And I was going down the street because I had to go buy something, and it was Sunday. It was Sunday, just like today. And back then, there weren't many stores open. Now stores open all the time, but back then, there weren't many stores open, and you had to go to Corte Inglés or something to get something. And I walked by the agency, and I noticed that there were these TV vans, and there were people setting up cameras. And I said, "Oh wow! I guess there's someone when the winning number was here." And I kept walking, and then suddenly I got about another block or two, and then it dawned on me. It dawned on me because I had just seen the number on TV, and it was a 08 whatever. And I thought, oh my God, that was the number I saw the day before at that same place. And that was what happened. That's what happened. I mean, if I had gone in, all I had to do was go in and go to the window and say, give me those 2 numbers. The only 2 numbers left, I would have won, had 2 of those. decimos. And but that's the world of, when they say life is a lottery, that's was literally the truth in my case. And anyway, so that's what happened there. Yes, I agree 100% with what you're saying, Susana. 100%. That's a give you a heart there, because it's I agree 100%. It's a big moment for the kids who are calling out the numbers. The kids calling out the numbers. Yeah, they rehearse it. These, as I said, this place used to be, San Ildefonso used to be an orphanage, and so the kids, it was even a special moment for them, wearing the uniforms and singing out the numbers. And it used to only be boys, but for a long time it's been become co-ed. So more co-ed, this is for school, but it's mixed, and it's just a school. I know there's something to the school that we're going to close it down or they're going to open it. It's gone through some moments of crisis over the years, but it's still going on. If I'm not incorrect, I think that's pretty true. I just don't remember the whole story. And now there's 7 of 10. So they've still got 3 more boards to call. They're calling out, as I said, this is the system, just so you know. Okay. 2 big cages. They're balls, like bingo balls. One has got 100,000 numbers. Each is a wooden ball with the number engraved on it, from 0 to 99,999. Then you have another cage, a smaller cage, with the prize. Most of those prizes are 1,000 euro prizes. So one student calls out the number, because it comes out of a chute, sort of rolls down. They pick up that ball, they call out the number, and the person next to them calls out the prize, whatever it is. Most times it's going to be 1,000 euros and 1,000 euros, and they sing it. Na, 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 sort of that. That's the way they sing it, and it just goes on and on and on for hours. And we're going to see. I think we're still down to 3 more 5th prizes and 1 second prize. I'm gonna have to go somewhere pretty soon. I still have about a half hour, so hopefully that will come out soon, and check it out. But it's an exciting thing to do, and I'm glad I could do it this year, because I've always wanted to do sort of a live stream of this, and because it's always on December 22nd, and December 22nd can be any day of the week. Most days I can't. And last year, obviously, this was a leap year, so last year was Friday. So finally, this year it's Sunday, and so we were able to do it for you. And I thought this was a good way of doing live streams on the Spanish traditions. Christmas is just going. Christmas is very long in Spain, and for some countries, I know, going back in the States, once you get through December 25th. By the 26th, you get the feeling that things are sort of winding down. You've got New Year's after that, but it's sort of most of the celebrating is going on through until today, and that is through December 25th. But in Spain, we're just beginning. It's just starting. You have. It's been going on for weeks with different, usually celebrations at work and with some friends. But now it's just getting started, because you have this celebration. 2 days from now, you have the famous aperitivo, which on Christmas Eve, which people get together in the morning. I'll tell you about that. Maybe I can do a second live streaming from there. We can do one from where I am. That would be cool because you have to see that. That's a whole different world. And it's actually fairly recent. I'll tell you about that. And then you have Christmas Eve, family-oriented meal. And that's probably the big night of Christmas. And then you have a Christmas Day. And then it's not over because you have to go to the, after that, you have to go to New Year's Eve. And New Year's Eve is a huge night here. I can tell you more about that in a second. And then you have New Year's Day, and then you go to the Three Kings on January 5th, and Three Kings Day, which is actually January 6th, the Feast of the Epiphany. So this goes on and on and on and on. And there are plenty of major meals ahead of us. So that's where we are. I'm waiting for some more prizes. You know, we're getting toward the end, and we still have a second prize to announce, and we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5. We have 3 more prizes. I'm going to take a break for a second. I have no one on, so I'll be back in a second. Hey, Booch. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I had to take a quick break here. We are down to, as far as I know, 1 second prize and 3 fifth prizes. Oh, I'm getting some feedback here. Okay. All right. Okay, we're giving it a little try here. And now we're going to, let's see. El año pasado, Gordo. That's right. The last year, the first prize they were saying here didn't come out until 1:15, which is the latest in history. And I remember that. I remember it was, by 1 o'clock, it still hadn't, they still hadn't called out. They hadn't announced the first prize. But this year it came in around 11:15, I think. So, sort of in the middle of the road. We are still waiting for second prize, and we're waiting for 3 more fifth prizes. And that will tell us how it's won. A fifth prize is a 60,000 euro prize if you have all 10 numbers or 10 tickets of that same series. If not, it's usually 1/10 of that, which is 6,000, which isn't going to help me retire, but it's certainly oh wait, there's a number. There's a prize. I think that's I think it's the second prize. Hold on. They're calling it right now. This is live.
El sexto, quinto premio.
Oh, it's a fifth prize.
Extraordinario, muy compartido haciendo estos premios.
I wouldn't complain if I got.
Vamos a ver cuál es este quinto, este sexto, quinto premio. Vamos a ver si
Let's take a look here.
Luego los niños.
Kids go up to a table and they show them the winning number, and they show them the winning prize. 97,345. Okay, let's update that. Hold on for a second. $97,345. That is the sixth one. That doesn't sound familiar at all to me, but once again, usually in the end, anything that comes up in terms of prizes will come up in the Pebble ones, and it will come up a little bit later. There it is. This one is. This one was sold exclusively in Madrid, according to the presenters. I'm gonna quick take a look. No, that doesn't sound familiar at all. But you never know. I don't see it. All right. Well, at the end of these things, you usually say, well, at least I have my health and my friends and my job and stuff, and that there to act as a bit of a. Okay, they're going on as a compensation, something to comfort you in your loss. But anyway, there we are. We're down to two more fifth prizes and a second prize. I guess second prize is really the big one people are looking at now. That could certainly make a big difference in many people's cases. But they're still on the seventh tabla, so yeah, it's going to be a while. It's just probably going to carry on until 1:30, which means I'm going to have to not be there the whole time. Let me see if that's it.
Nosotros ya sabéis, no nos vamos a mover hasta que salga la última bola en el sorteo, pero a continuación, recordad, sigue la programación en la 1 con la hora de la 1, que va a estar con todos los puntos agraciados con los premios mayores del sorteo de Navidad y por supuesto a continuación los servicios informativos. Y como veis, vamos a salir el segundo y los dos segundos.
Okay. We'll sign off in 15 minutes regardless. Yeah, they are shouting on, calling on. We're down to our last few numbers here. In that tabla, they've done 7 or 10, so they're on the 8th, 9th, and 10th. These are these long boards, and they have these two wires, and the kids just start putting the numbers into like skewers, like as if they were you were doing like a shish kebab or something. And you stick in the wooden ball has a hole. It's like a bead, as if you were making jewelry or something like that. And you just stick it down that wire, and then they place it on the board. And once that's done, they get another set, and they just go on. And that's where we are. We're sort of wrapping this up. There they are. Now they're going to mix the. They're going to have the ball sort of go round and round and round and round. and see what happens. They could like to mix it up that way. I always think it's always good because I guess it sense that they're being honest about it and they're giving everyone a chance. But imagine being that your number, and this obviously happens. The one being your number and the winning number, or get the next two balls, and instead of having them drop down the chute, they actually start to spin the ball again, and you were that close to winning. And once again, the concept of a lottery in all its on all levels is there. But anyway, the first prize, as we said, is 72,480, 72480. It was apparently mainly sold or entirely sold in Logroño, the city of Logroño, which is in the province of La Rioja. La Rioja is famous for its wine, the wine region. So then the city of Logroño is a fun city for people who like to go to tapas and stuff like that. So I can imagine Logroño is going to be an exhilarating city to be in at this time of today, at least. And that's that. The last prize they just mentioned was the fifth prize, which is in 97,397,345. That was a fifth prize. Apparently, that was sold exclusively in Madrid, but not where I went. So I didn't get that number. I'm going to see if I can do something here, and then I have a few minutes while we're waiting for the rest of the prizes to come out. See if I can adjust something here, and okay, this is close out some of these things here. There you go. You can hear I'm not sure if you can hear the kids calling it out in the background. That is how that's done. One boy or a girl is calling out the winning number, and the other person is calling out the what the prize is, and that normally is going to be 1,000 euros. This is the cool thing about this lottery is that they spread the wealth. Lots of people get to win something. The jackpot is big, but it's not going to be. It's not what you find it. Oh, they're showing a picture.
Donde se ha vendido ese 72.480 y la administración número 6, Muro del Carmen, evidentemente alegría máxima en esta administración. Claro, es para los puntos de vista.
Now they're showing a video of the winning. Yeah, you can tell it's La Rioja. There's a video of the winning number where it was sold. You can tell it's Logroño because they all have a glass of red wine in their hand. The owners of the of the lottery outlet, the office. That's hysterical. See this now the cameras. Well, I mean, this is big deal because what will happen is that the TV people will go to the to wherever it was sold or to the bar, usually to the office where it was sold, and interview them and watch people celebrating the street. Usually it's with champagne, but you can tell it's La Rioja because they'll have a glass of red wine there. So so that's confirmed. It was La Rioja in Logroño, and there we are. And there's carrying on and carry on. 3 hours and 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours of coverage here with Brian Spain Domain. And it seems like they've still got, I would say, another hour left before they wrap this up. But they still have three more prizes, major prizes to call out. Every time you hear them calling something out, it is a prize. It's one of those prizes. This is the classic December 22nd tradition in Spain, the Christmas lottery, and it is it's still going on. It's been going on all morning long. That's that's how it works here. It is not a 5 minute, or even a 30-second quick. Let's just tell you the winning number and who won that prize, or whatever that number is. This is they go prize by prize, so it's not when you have sometimes lottery tickets where you have. Um, like I don't know, a typical lottery where you might have five numbers, a five-number winning number. But what happens is if the first number is the same, then you win, you get your money back. If the first two numbers are the same, then you get, maybe $5. If the first three numbers, you get $25, and so on. No, this goes basically number by number. In other words, they call out every winning number. And so you may have, imagine, for example, if its first prize is 72,480, you may have 72,000, or that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Or 72,004. I don't think that's close enough. Well, no, you might. I think you do if it's the same. The first three numbers. The last two numbers, for example, if the last two numbers are the same, 80, you will get a prize of 1,000, which is usually just 100 for every ticket that you have. And so there's systems like that, but it's overall they're calling out number by number every single winning number, and just depending on what the prize is and what the number is, then there'll be additional winners if it's the same as the winning number of the first thing. Now, so far, I'm looking at in terms of getting your money back. Okay, to get your money back, it has to it has to be the same as the first, what they call reintegro. It has to be the same as the first prize number, and that's going to be 0. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I have even that. So I'm going to have to hopefully count on a bigger prize for the Pedrea. But we'll have to see. Sometimes there's so many different combinations of winning something. You sort of have to wait till the draw to finish and the prizes to come out. Then you go online. You can always do a check in different newspapers or even the official website for the lottery. And you could just type in your number, and they'll tell you if you won anything. And that will be there we are. They're still on that same tablet, so it's going for a while. Hopefully, in the next few minutes, we will be getting our winning number out, or at least a second prize. That would be good. But we're not quite there yet. They're working on it. I still look at. There are a lot of wooden balls in the prizes section, so they're still not there yet. Anyway, this is how this works. This is the classic Spanish tradition. It's been going on for centuries now, over 200 years. The first Christmas lottery was celebrated in 1812, so over 200 years ago. Which it's when the United States was in the War of 1812. But the interesting thing was that in Spain was in the middle of what they called the Peninsular War, in which Spain was trying to get the French under Napoleon out of the country, and with the help of the British. And it was a major war going on there, and it took many years, but that was going on right there and yet they had, despite all this, the country was being torn apart. There was a lot of battles. It was a long war. They still had time to say, hey, let's have a lottery and for Christmas. And it's been going on ever since. And they've gone back to, they're in Logroño, and there's the reporter trying to interview someone. And they're trying to interview someone from Logroño. And so anyway, that started back then, and ever since they've had this every December. It's been the tradition to have this Christmas lottery, and it's for as long as I can remember. It's always been on December 22nd. When that started, I got to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know when they decided to always make it December 22nd. I get the feeling it hasn't always been December 22nd, but who knows? It's certainly been that way for a long, long time. And that's sort of one of these great traditions in Madrid, and it's coming to an end. But a lot of people right now today in Spain have had significant changes in their lives. Not just one person, lots of people. And now they're interviewing the people in Logroño. They've got their bottles of red wine out because this is the major red wine region of Spain. So they're opening up bottles of red wine to celebrate it. I would certainly think it'd be fun to be in Madrid, excuse me, in Logroño today, right now. There must be a lot of celebrating going on because certainly a lot of people have won a lot of money and are a lot richer today than they were yesterday. And as I was telling you about this special this lottery, is that they continue to. It's a thing where the wealth is spread, and they did a. It's not just a lot of money for one person, a ton of money for one person. It's a lot of money for a lot of people. And so a lot of people can be happy and celebrate, even if you win, a ticket for the fifth prize, which is maybe 6,000. Well, let's do the numbers here because let's think about it. How many people would potentially win 6,000? Because we have here, I'm going to do my math here because get this calculator out. 193, tickets. Let's just, it's not going to be what I say, but it's just to give you an idea. There are 8 winning numbers for fifth prize. So 8. Okay, and each number has 193 series. Right? Okay. So 8, and then each series has 10. So let's go 193 times 10, which we said was 1,930. Just confirm that. Times 10 is 1,930. Times 8. All right, so you can imagine maybe approximately it says 15,440. That doesn't have to be the oh wait, no. Oh yeah, we're still no. I'm just giving a summary on TV, but we know that. Okay, nothing new. And we're and so that's 15,440 different of the ones of these tickets, these winning tickets. Now we're assuming that not all the tickets for all those numbers were bought. And we're also assuming that not every one of these numbers were spread out individually with one ticket per person. But just assuming, let's imagine out of 15,440, let's play conservative and say 10,000 people just won 6,000 euros today, right? Well, that's a big help for some of these people, especially at this time of year, or maybe they might be going through difficult times, with the economy being what it is, and inflation, the way prices have gone up. Well, that's a considerable amount of money for a lot of people, and it might have been higher, and then you have, let's do another one with fourth prize, okay? And I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon. I wish I could stay, but it was my fault here. Oh wait. Okay, another fifth prize. All right, let me update it. At least I get this up. I wish I could get a second prize before I go.
estas niñas. Ahora vamos a escucharlo y lo vamos a comprobar para no equivocarnos, pero es el séptimo quinto premio que de los 8 que hay, pues ya tenemos 7. Vamos a comprobar cuál es. Ahí está, lo vamos a ver enseguida.
Here we go. They're going to tell us the number. 75143. 75. Oh, that's 70,000. 75143. 75. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these prizes in the 70,000s. All right. Okay, hold on for a second. I'll be right with you in a second. And I'll be back in a second. Okay.
Vendido en Madrid íntegramente, y eso qué significa, pues que ahora nos queda el segundo y un quinto. Solo nos quedan 2, bueno, pero acertamos ya, bueno, estamos a la buena esfuerzo. Pero vamos, saldrá sí o sí. Entonces vamos a ver cuántas, vamos a esperar. 60.400.000 euros. 81.489.000 euros. 25.988.000 euros. 6.130.000 euros.
Bueno, pero a ver, es que esto, yo puedo decir que vaya y que cojan el sitio de cuál, pero ¿has podido comprar algo? Bueno, tenemos luego y mañana y pasado también, ¿vale? Ahora te pago, baby, no te preocupes, te pago dinero.
Cada una su forma particular de mandar.
Vale,
Con
vale.
muchos años de historia, conociendo de la Lotería Nacional, fechas, por ejemplo, curiosas, ¿no? Cosas que han pasado, por ejemplo, el 5 de julio del año 2010 comenzó la venta de la Lotería Nacional por terminal. Y a partir de noviembre también se empezó a comercializar la Lotería de Navidad a través de
Okay.
el sorteo de Navidad.
Well, we're back out, and that's all I know.
De congresos de Madrid. Y como decimos, lleva ya 13 años en este teatro.
Okay, well, we're going to have to wrap this up. I was hoping to get all the numbers out in time, but we're still not sure. We're going to, for the moment, we're missing. Okay. And we'll just decide show at that. And we. Okay. So anyway, we are down to our final 2 prizes. We hopefully they will come out soon, and we hope that you are lucky and win this number. Thank you very much for being a part of Brian Spain Domain's first live stream. His first one in the modest start, but you know we just want to get this up and going, and I think this was an easy thing to do and talk about, and we will wish you all the luck, all the happy Christmas, and maybe some luck with the lottery and the Christmas lottery. Hope you've learned something and have enjoyed it, and hopefully we will have. No, we don't, and we should have the final 2 numbers out soon, and I'll try to update you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the having you along, and we wish you the best. Bye.
O si no,